What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Montyverse Live Nights.
We don't have a formal
The
name,
Montyverse
really.
Live Nights.
Oh, that's the name now?
It's the name for today's episode,
Whoa, cool.
as we normally do. We just got back from Philadelphia. Well, we didn't just get back. We've been back.
We went back for a few days. But...
Yeah, but we've been back. We were at Fan Expo Philly this weekend.
Yes.
We had a really great time. The con had us there as press. And it was a really, really fun experience.
Yeah. I don't know if y'all remember Wizard World. So that's Fan Expo is now what Wizard World was, basically. It's the company I think obtained them, basically. But we've been there before, but this is our first time going to Fan Expo Philly. And I had a really good time.
Yeah, I've been to a couple Wizard Worlds. I've been to Wizard World. They had one in New York, only one in New York, and I was in that one.
Yeah.
And I've been to Wizard World Philly a bunch of times. This is my first experience with Fan Expo as a company.
Yeah.
And it was a pretty good time.
I was going to say, technically, MegaCon is part of them, too.
Okay, but our first official Fan Expo. Yes,
I was going to say, MegaCon is very different because this had, I feel like, a very different vibe than previous cons we've been to. It was still very big, but I think it didn't feel overwhelming. Is the best way I'd say it.
It was that's the thing with a lot of cons, especially a lot of bigger cons, because I think this is this is a pretty decent sized convention.
Yeah.
The Philadelphia Convention Center is pretty huge.
It's huge. It's right in downtown Philadelphia.
Yeah, it's a pretty crazy space. Everything felt really roomy and comfortable. It was a real pleasure to be able to walk down the aisles comfortably and check out all the booths and vendors.
Yeah.
And usually when you're at conventions, you have to do a lot of, I like to call it like football blocking. You have to be like a running back. You have to be able to maneuver around hordes and hordes of people in the aisles. You don't really get to see everything.
Yeah.
You get to talk to vendors and get to really have them explain their artwork or have them explain what their thought processes behind pieces are.
Yeah.
And we actually got to do a lot of that this convention. I thought that was really cool.
No, I thought the show floor was fantastic. I think it helped because we got there pretty early when it opened, and that I think is honestly going to be our goal from now on. But I still think it was pretty reasonable to navigate. Like, we've been to some very big cons like New York Comic Con, and this was very refreshing in the comfortability of navigating things. Like, you don't have to like wait for people endlessly to like cross somewhere. You don't have to worry about people shoving into you.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it eventually got crowded, but at the same time, I very much enjoyed it.
Yeah, even at its most packed, I think it was definitely a lot less congested than a lot of other conventions we've been to. Like we said, we've been to New York Comic Con, we've been to MegaCon, some pretty huge conventions, and this one definitely was comfortable.
Absolutely. And I really liked the vendors. They had some very good vendors that we got some really cool stuff from.
Yeah, but before we get into that stuff, let's say what's up to everyone in the chat right now. We're trying to give you guys a chance to pile in to get started before we jumped in.
Yeah.
But there's so many of you in here. We have Andrew, of course. What's up, Andrew? Johnny, Henry Resilient is joining us, guys. The one and only. I know plenty of you guys know who he is. He does some great content. Go check him out. We have Testing Limits.
Yeah.
Oh my God, who does some amazing 3D printing and cosplay stuff. Amazing stuff. Iron America. So many familiar faces in here right now.
Yes. Also, Casey. Welcome, Casey. Thank you all so much for just taking time to show us on a Tuesday evening.
Yeah, sorry. Siri, we're live.
Also, Holiday, thank you so much. Happy to have you here.
So yeah, guys, we're just chilling right now. We're just waiting for more people to get in, but we're just kind of going over the weekend, talking about Fan Expo Philly. And I got to start off first with this wonderful. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with like those little tiny mystery. I don't know what they're called, blind boxes.
I don't know if they have a formal name, but yeah, it's a little box. It has something in it, but you don't know what it is.
Yeah, and there were these amazing Digimon ones at this booth, and we have the names of all the booths that we've visited, that we went to, and we have a vlog coming out where we go into more detail and give proper shout outs to all the amazing vendors we spoke to. But there were these Digimon blind boxes that were calling me, and there was two. There was one where the Digidestined wore like Snuggies of their Digimon partner, and there was another one where the Digimon were cosplaying as their Digidestined. And for some reason, there was a box calling to me, and I'm like, I need Agumon dressed as Tai.
Yeah.
I need it. And guess what, guys? That box, it did it. I pulled it. Look at that little guy.
Oh my gosh.
That's so cool.
It looks so good. And on the box, it shows what all of them would look like. They look fantastic.
I would have been happy with any of the Digidestined, but Ty's my boy. Me and Ty are like synergistic. That's like my spirit animal. So
yeah,
I'm really happy I got that one.
I'm so mad because I was supposed to record you opening the box. And of course, record had not been hit.
Yeah, she thought I handed her the camera with record hit already, and I did not. So we missed that. But overall, still some fun stuff.
Also, from the same vendor, you guys might notice my little buddy behind us, my little Fido.
For all of our Pokemon fans, for anyone who played Scarlet and Violet.
Oh my gosh.
The newest dog Pokemon.
Nothing made me more excited for that game than the bread dog that was coming out. And this vendor had a ton of plushies. And they are like legit plushies. This is a Japanese one. I was so excited to see that. It's so cute.
Yeah, it's really, really cute. Unfortunately, we scoured the entire con looking for BoonBoomger stuff. I was like, one of these, because there was a lot of vendors that specialized in imported Japanese products and collectibles, and I was kind of hoping we'd stumble upon a changer or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, Sentai stuff in general was lacking.
Yeah, there was a lack of Sentai representation. All there really was like old, I think it was the newer Shout Factory DVDs and maybe some burnt DVDs of Sentai that was there.
Yeah, so
other than that, not really much I could get.
And honestly, it's already hard enough finding just Power Rangers stuff.
I just happened to see that comment come up from Rider Death Legend Dog Thigh. R.I.P. to the GOAT, Dog Thigh. What a legend.
The audience knows you too well.
And Henry, we will be talking about X-Men. Don't worry, I have a lot of thoughts about what's going to happen.
Also, Iron America, I'm not even kidding you right now. Heart Gold might be my favorite Pokemon game of all time. I might still have my copy.
I mean, listen, Heart Gold and Soul Silver were pretty phenomenal games.
I mean, they might be the best remakes.
That's true.
I think that's pretty easy.
And also in Philly, I do want to shout out
C.
Kev Draw, because I had an amazing conversation with him, and we picked up these amazing Power Ranger prints. I mean, look at that, guys. Look at the texture. We talked so much about the texture and how he was inspired by like the old 70s show Guyver. If you guys are familiar with it. And then look at this Tommy one. Look at my boy Tommy.
Yeah.
On the back. I mean, come on. Look at the Dragon Zord. This is I had to get these because this is some of the best I've ever seen the Mighty Morphin suits look. These are phenomenal. And I have to shout out C-Cap Draw.
Yeah.
Because he was just a really nice guy. Really nice guy. Really liked Power Rangers. We had a nice conversation about Power Rangers. And that's cool. I mean, look at Kimberly. Badass. Such a mid-morph. Charging into battle.
Yeah.
Like the leader she is. Like the extremely powerful leader. And the Power Rangers need a leader, apparently. They need a new leader. Oof. The OG Rangers. So, yeah.
Yes. Oof. Also, I don't know if we shout out yet. Tyler, thank you so much for joining us. And Mr. Danbo.
Ooh, I like that name, Mr. Danbo. And anyone we miss, we're trying to get it. We're trying to say hi to everyone, but anyone we miss, hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Greetings.
I don't know. I mean, we're trying to keep it chill tonight.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the Kevin Feige stuff?
Yeah, I'm excited for this, or I don't know if I'm excited. I'm intrigued because you told me about it first.
Yeah, I mean, Empire Magazine just did a huge piece on Deadpool and Wolverine, and they sat down with Sean Levy, who was the director. They also sat down with Kevin Feige, and Feige had some very interesting quotes. Why don't you pull up the IGN one first, because so I can actually read the quote.
Yeah, that's.
I don't want to misquote Kevin Feige. I don't want Feige to watch this because I know Feige's watching right now.
Oh no!
I don't want him to think I misquoted him.
Is this one right?
That one right there.
Okay, awesome.
Yep, and I have the quote highlighted. It's nice to be able to rally behind one feature project this year. I'm much more comfortable being the underdog. I prefer being able to surprise and exceed expectations. So it does seem like the last year, which has not been ideal, has set up well for that.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting because you have Feige and Marvel in general definitely letting you know that they've been paying attention to everything. They've been fully aware of everything that's been going on. They've been well aware that the last couple of Marvel movies, the past couple of years, haven't really struck a chord with audiences the way they would have hoped. And I think that we're going to be entering a renaissance in terms of the MCU, and I think it's already started, to be quite honest with you.
Ooh, that's a big statement to make. What makes you? You know what? I don't know why I'm even asking, because Henry Resilient, thank you so much for the $5 donation.
Thank you, Henry.
Is putting.
Why don't you pull that up? Go back to the wide shot.
Yeah.
Pull that up. You gotta pull it up.
Absolutely. So Henry Resilient, thank you again. X-Men 97 is so good. Makes you wish they do the same to the Amazing Spider-Man. X-Men and Spider-Man cartoons were good back in the day.
That's so true.
Honestly, like, this gonna sound bad. I keep forgetting X-Men 97 is part of Marvel and Disney.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, right? And quick spoiler warning for the next. If you haven't watched X-Men 97 episode 8, turn your volume off for the next 10 seconds. And starting now. And Spider-Man reappeared. Our beloved Spider-Man 1997 from the animated series showed back up in X-Men 97. Okay, you can turn your volume back on. Spoiler warning gone. But it's really cool because people forget that Marvel had a shared universe before the MCU. The MCU wasn't the first Marvel shared universe.
Yeah.
It was these TV shows that a lot of us 90s kids like me and Henry, we grew up with, right? And it's these and that's what really introduced me to the world of Marvel. I started reading comics through DC through the lens of like Robin and Batman, and that was my introduction to comics as a whole. But it was the shared universe from the cartoons that really formally introduced me to Marvel and got me reading Marvel comics. So for them to be bringing back X-Men 97 and for it to be doing as well as it is doing,
right?
It makes you wonder what other projects Marvel, because again, Marvel now has Marvel Animation that needs work. What other projects do they have going on? Maybe we'll get an Avengers 97. Didn't have one of those back in the day, and now we need one of them right now. But just before we move, because we're gonna listen. If you get me started on X-Men 97, I'll go for days. But we do need to talk about the fact that a joint statement with that, not really a joint statement, Bob Iger also kind of addressed this week by saying that they're kind of ramping down on the production of Marvel movies and TV shows, and they're aiming to release 2 to 3 movies a year, as well as 1 or 2 TV shows, aiming to be 2.
Yeah.
I think that's a smart business decision. I think it makes sense fiscally because you're releasing one Marvel property per quarter, so they're not competing with each other fiscally during the year.
Yeah.
Or creatively.
Yeah, because I think that was kind of weird last year because it felt weird having Loki season 2 and then immediately the Marvels. And here's the thing. I think it's fair to say that for the most part, you and I have enjoyed them. Like, not that I think we think they're the greatest thing ever, but we've enjoyed them. But I think definitely it felt like a bit of saturation. And I think just having a tempered quantity will hopefully increase their quality as well.
Yeah, and there's some really fascinating conversations going on in the chat right now, especially Mr. Dambo and Henry talking about superhero fatigue. I'm of the camp that I think superhero fatigue is just doesn't exist.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think we can talk about quality all day long, but I think that's the key word. If everything was great at Endgame level, I don't think we would be talking about this.
I think it's a mediocrity fatigue. I think it's a fatigue. It's audiences going because there's a lot of things happening post Endgame that I don't think people are taking into account, other than the fact that Marvel movies have been subpar. And I think a large part of the reason why they've been subpar is because Kevin Feige, as a producer, has been spread so thin. That man can only be so many places and have his eyes on so many things at one time that I think the entire Marvel team was spread way too thin. Excuse me. They couldn't keep up the quality control that they had pre-Endgame, pre-Phase 4.
Yeah.
And I think that's what really hurt them.
Yeah. I mean, my biggest thing is that I love Endgame so much. I already, on a personal level, already was never expecting anything to be that monumental again, which doesn't mean that we shouldn't have expectations and standards that meet. But case in point, X-Men 97. Are people fatigued by that?
No, and Deadpool and Wolverine, the hype for that movie is insane. It's off the charts. But what's really interesting to take into account also is not just from a superhero point of view, right? We have to look at this because me and you are cinephiles. We go to the movies a lot during the year. We love movies. We review movies on the channel. We love talking about movies. the landscape of the movie industry has changed severely since 2019.
Yeah, and I think there's a good argument for the worse pretty easily.
Yeah, I mean, people aren't going to the theater as much as they were pre-COVID.
Yeah. And I think the problem is there's also kind of the two extremes. Movies either cost nothing to make or they cost an insane, exorbitant amount.
Yeah, and I think and the pandemic really hit the MCU hard because people don't realize the vast majority of the shows that we've gotten so far were produced and had to film during pandemic protocols.
Yeah.
And were victimized by the pandemic in terms of quality. So there was a lot of craziness that was going on. I think Marvel kind of pumped the brakes, put the foot down, and said, guys, we need to take a second.
Yeah.
We need to take a chill pill. We need to reevaluate what we're doing.
Yeah.
And they had that big summit that was all over the trades. They had that big summit where everyone talked about and planned everything out. And I think that they reestablished what was important to the brand. And I hope that going forward, we kind of stick to that plan. Because again, like we're talking about, the landscape is completely different.
Yeah.
People don't want to pay to go to the theater anymore.
It's not even just that. And I think this kind of applies to any brand, any movie star, any franchise, where like branding recognition, I don't think should ever be like the reason we go to something or immediately give attention. It's irrational, but we do it. But I think each individual work also is deserving of being evaluated on its own merits. And unfortunately, I think, yeah, the MCU has not been hitting the highs it did before, but I'm still also going to give everything a chance.
Yeah, and a lot of people are bringing up the Jonathan Majors of it all. That didn't help either.
No, it did not.
It was Marvel took a lot on the chin the past couple of years, and there's nothing makes me happier than having the X-Men and X-Men related characters be the characters that take Marvel out of this creative deficit that they've been in, because X-Men 97 is some of the best television.
Yeah.
Forget superhero television. Forget animated television. This is some of the best television you will ever watch.
Yeah. I never watched the original series.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm very surprised I didn't, but I never did.
It was a little before your time.
A little bit, but even then, it's something that I feel like I would have loved if I watched it. But anyway, I never went back to even try it. And I was skeptical when you were like, oh, let's do 97. I was like, okay. It's so beyond anything I would have expected. But what I love is even you telling me that as a fan of the original, that you think it, in a lot of ways, it's even better.
Oh, it far exceeds the original. I think I went back and I watched the original, and the original has amazing storytelling. It was limited by the animation of its time. Yeah. And because of I think the animation itself limited how far they could go with stories. But to have this series, and I mean, listen, this series had its complications upon release. And before I forget to mention, Mr. Dambo also mentioned Loki season 2 dropped last year, and that was some of the best storytelling in the MCU.
And also followed by the Marvels.
The Marvels, which we love. We are the Marvels defenders.
Yeah.
So you guys can get lost on that if you don't like the Marvels.
Absolutely. Was there something you wanted to pull up for this for X-Men?
Let's just pull some pictures, I guess. Let's just look at these. Let's look at these handsome devils. Everyone's so good looking on this show.
Oh my god,
it's crazy.
I was gonna say, I feel like that's such a trope with movies, but at the same time, it's pretty sick.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna tell you why I think it was intentional to make them all look good.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing when it comes to mutants, right?
Yeah.
People think and this is why people, there's a lot of small-minded conversation and hate think.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad X-Men is able to call people out on that, because there are people that are like, how does the Marvel universe hate mutants when they're all so cool and powerful? But here's the thing, guys. The X-Men are the vast minority of mutants with abilities that are able to fight back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not as well versed in X-Men, but don't some of them have like very weird, potentially pointless powers?
The reason why mutants are a persecuted group in Marvel Comics is because the vast majority of them have these mutations that are essentially useless when it comes to combat, and that make them look horrific to normal humans in the context of the universe.
Right.
So that is why they are persecuted. That's why they are hated. Besides the fact that they deem themselves, or they are deemed, the next step in evolution, which threatens humanity.
Mhm.
And as you know, when people are threatened, people feel threatened,
Yeah.
they lash out in violence.
Yeah.
So I think it's intentionality to make the X-Men look good, because the X-Men are the poster children for mutants.
Mhm.
They are the ones that go out and they fight the fights that the rest of the mutant community can't, and they do so, by looking like supermodels.
Looking like this, all ripped, all with chiseled abs.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people in the comments, right? They're the pretty popular kids. Not only that, but they're like the fist of the mutants, right? And I don't mean that in that they attack. They're the ones. They're more of a shield for the mutant community. They're the ones who are able to protect their kind, and they're the ones who are able to go out and be the faces. They are essentially like the Captain Americas of the mutant community.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's also easy to assume how we would act without being in the situation.
Yeah.
Because obviously there's so many parallels, but we're also not in it.
Hi, Bonnie.
I was gonna say, Bonnie, thank you for joining. Megalo, thank you so much. I hope y'all are having a good night so far.
Yes. I hope you are enjoying us thirsting over the X-Men.
Yeah.
Look at these guys. Gambit.
Also, I appreciate Jubilee just snacking right there.
Jubilee is vibes.
Jubilee, I swear to God, like without even watching the show, I just knew I would be.
Jubilee is Jubilee. Jubilee is vibes. Love
Yes.
Jubilee.
Oh my God.
Man, what a great show. What a great
Yes.
cast of characters. And we gotta really talk about missing our boy Nightcrawler. Yes,
Yeah.
Dambo.
Mhm.
That's what I'm talking about. Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
So good. So one of my favorite characters in Marvel Comics. Like I said, he's fighting for the #1 spot of my favorite X-Men/mutant.
That's tough.
Yeah, it's a tough call, but I love me some Kurt.
I was gonna say I have no experience with this character. I've also been told I'm like Kitty Pryde.
Yeah, you got some Kitty vibes. You're like the responsible student, innocent, introduced to this world of chaos.
That's probably pretty accurate.
Listen. We got to talk about, because guess what tonight is, or tomorrow, or wherever, depending on where you live. X-Men 97, episode 9, Tolerance is Extinction, episode 2, part 2 of the 3-part finale. We left off episode 8 pretty crazy. And guys, if you haven't watched X-Men, the animated X-Men 97, episode 8, I don't know what to tell you. Where have you been?
Yeah, at this point, yeah. I mean, I guess I appreciate if you all like our BoonBoomger and Power Ranger content, but that is also what we are up to.
But man, what a way to end the episode. It's fascinating. It's fascinating. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I thought I cut you off.
No, go. You go ahead.
Man, it's just the way that this show, it's super impressive. And I have to shout out Bo DeMeo, because his writing is so impressive. Mm-hmm. To me, as someone who watches, like I said, watches a lot of TV, watches a lot of movies, the way that he introduced and executed so many subplots this season.
Yeah.
And episode 8 felt like the pinnacle of that, because all of them started to converge.
Yeah.
And not only did they feel like they were naturally part of the main narrative, all of them felt like they were creating coming to their natural conclusions in terms of character arcs. Like the Summers family beatdown scene, like fantastic. The stuff with Beast and Trish Tilby, the stuff with Birdo and Jubilaba.
I thought you said Birdo for a second.
Birdo, that would be great. It's Birdo. I'm talking very fast right now, so T's could sound like D's. Keep up, Nicki. I don't know what to tell you. But like I said, all of these things converging naturally with the Bastion stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Val stuff. Like,
Val.
holy hell.
So many. And again, it was a swerve, because we all, as comic book readers, were expecting that to be Mystique. Mm-hmm. And by all means, it still could be, but I think it would take away from the scene in episode 8 if it was.
Yeah.
So to have her come out and not be Mystique but still be a traitor.
Yeah. I was gonna say, and also at this point, I can't imagine that she is, and they still haven't revealed it after that scene.
So we talked a lot about the pathos and the like themes of the season in our episode 8 reaction.
Yeah.
So I'll try not to touch on that too much. I really want to talk about the hype behind episode 9.
Yeah.
Because where we left off, Magneto created a worldwide, a global scale EMP, essentially declaring war on the human race. It was shocking in the moment. In the moment, I didn't even realize the detriment of that, even though I've read X-Men Fatal Attractions, the comic that this is based off of. So I know the ramifications of that. But for those of you who may not realize how detrimental that one action was, think about the fact that this person just shut down electronics on a global scale. So that means planes fell out of the skies, emergency medical equipment all failed.
So basically, kind of like the snap.
Kind of like the snap. It was chaos and death on a global scale. And I can't see episode 9 not immediately addressing that.
No, and I think that's what's been good about the series so far is the fact that it's been ballsy with actually kind of taking on some of these meatier, more intense subplots. Like you were telling me how you didn't think they were going to go with the Madeline subplot at all. So I'm not surprised, and I hope they not only they do it, that they see it through in an appropriate, mature manner.
It's crazy. The writing staff is crazy because they weave together X-Men stories from like 4 different eras of X-Men comics so gracefully and so cohesively. I give them all the credit in the world. It's very impressive to take all of those things and churn out a season as significant and as well written as the one we have before us. It's honestly crazy. Quite crazy.
It is quite crazy. And honestly, we are so much better for it.
So my thoughts on episode 9. I think the world, and again, Charles is back.
Yes.
Old Chucky boy. Charles is back. And he came back at the worst possible time because the doomsday clock has officially struck 0 between humanity and mutants.
Yes.
And I think they're going to do Fatal Attraction. I think they're going to do the ending of Fatal Attraction where Charles leads a strike team to go after Magneto for the sake of humanity, to show humanity that it's going to be very similar to the Asteroid M episode from the X-Men the Animated Series, if you guys remember that one, where Charles kind of had to convince the United States government, hey, let me go talk to Magneto. Let me try and talk him down. I know him. We're best buds. I think it's going to be that again, but this time Charles knows that this is bad.
Yeah.
This can't just be like a conversation. I think Charles is going to take the X-Men there to try and either bring Magneto in, and if they can't bring him in, they're going to try and do what they can. But that's where I think this episode is going to be, which I think is fascinating, right?
Yeah.
Because then you have Bastion in the background going like, don't look at me. It wasn't me. It was Magneto. Look at this guy. Look what he did.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, right? Because that's how I think episode 10 is going to be. I think episode 9 is going to be X-Men versus Magneto.
Yeah.
And I think episode 10 is going to be the Bastion resolution.
Yes. I would hope so. After all the stuff that they've put us through.
And for those, and I can't say much because Nicki hasn't read the comics or watched or really knows the X-Men lore as well as I do.
Yeah.
But I do think they're setting up one major event probably for season 2, and that will probably be Onslaught as a character. If they are going to be doing, and again, as huge of a fan of X-Men as Bo is, I can't see him not touching on the Onslaught stuff from the comic books. I think it's too, like, as a fan, there are some pretty huge moments in Fatal Attractions that you have to do. And I think he's going to do. Knowing him, I think he's going to do them.
I'm so glad I don't know any of this.
Yeah, and I also think I think we're also potentially could see in a perfect world, I think season 2 would see Scott kind of go down a darker path. I think it would see him kind of start to see Xavier isn't as perfect as he always assumed him to be or always blindly followed him to be.
Yeah, that's very reasonable. Also, thank you again, Henry Resilient, for the $5 donation.
Thank you, Henry, my boy.
Magneto is a hero. He made the right call. If you want to make an omelet, you have to break some eggs. A small sacrifice for the greater good.
See, that's why I think that's a great statement, Henry, because that will lead me to kind of talk about why I like the show's interpretation of these events more than the comics, because the show makes it more of a gray area. Kind of like what the MCU did with Civil War, right? It gave you an out to be Team Cap or Team Iron Man, where I think this show kind of just like it gave us all of episode 8 to justify what Magneto did at the end of episode 8. But there's cause and effect to every action. With every action comes a reaction, right?
Yeah.
So while Magneto did all he could do in that moment to save his people, he also caused a global catastrophe and killed a lot of innocent people as well. So it is a one giant gray area. And again, there's this big thematic statement at the end of episode 8. Magneto was right.
Yeah.
And everyone's tagging it online and everyone's interpreting that as they will. Me personally, yes, I think that is kind of the theme. The theme of the season is to make you think Magneto is right. But in a perfect world, Magneto can't be right.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we reintroduce Charles right there. When all hope is lost, when his dream is dead, when Magneto essentially creates an EMP that kills Charles Magnavier's when he kills Charles Magnavier's dream, when he kills Xavier's dream, and he kind of ends the coexistence between mutants and humanity, that is when Xavier comes back and he attempts to be the light in the darkness, the voice preaching hope in this time of need. And I think there's a lot of curiosity there. Like, that to me is so compelling.
Yeah. I honestly, like, even the moment where he says he hopes he's not too late.
Yeah.
And it's so bittersweet because it's like, it's a bit hopeful because he's back. But at the same time, it's like, everything is going to S at that point.
And everything is going to S. His X-Men, his children have gone through the ringer, have been through some of the worst atrocities you can imagine for the mutant community while he's been gone. While he's just been chilling in space.
Yeah.
So I wonder how the X-Men are going to react. I wonder how the mutant community is going to react. Charles has a lot that he has to process. His best friend just did what he did. He was away for one of the worst terrorist events in mutant history, which is Genosha. Guys, and you could just hear my voice, hear the excitement, the palpable, the energy, the passion flowing through me, because this is all character work that's just out there already, that they already set the table for. And all they have to do is just take that ball and just glide it into the hole.
That's a different phrase. That's one way.
They got to make the basket.
Okay.
They're just gonna make a layup.
I was gonna say,
they gotta lay it right up.
They gotta run with it.
They just have to run it in. You're right. They passed all the defenders. They just gotta run it in for 6.
Yes.
And I'm so excited to see them take this down. I mean, listen, and I appreciate none of you for spoiling the sneak peek, because Nicki did not watch it, because we try and go into this as blind as possible.
Oh, I know.
So no spoiling the sneak peek in the comments. You all have been great so far, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, like I keep seeing like bits of thumbnails, and I'm like, no. Like, I know why they're doing it. I don't like it though. I don't want to be spoiled on literally anything.
And it's crazy. And in my mind, I'm going, if that's what they showed, what is in the episode?
Right. Oh yeah.
It's so wild.
Because whatever it is, there's no way it's inclusive enough to convey what they're actually going to do.
That's great. I love just glancing at the chat and at the most opportune moments, because Ghostwalker, what's up, Ghostwalker?
Hey.
Speaking of the 90s Spider-Man, how did Captain America escape the vortex with the rest? That's a great question. We need them to make Avengers 1997 or 98 for us to find out. I'm dying because we never really got that Avengers team in the 90s Marvel universe. So I'd love an Avengers 98. That would be fantastic. Bring back Spider-Man, bring back the X-Men, bring back Avengers 98. Build the Marvel animated universe.
Yeah.
Again.
If they're gonna
shut up, sorry.
I was gonna say, they've already invested in this. They know what they're capable of doing, to the point that they created a new brand within Marvel. They might as well, because we need more of this kind of thing.
Yeah, and it's it's so crazy, right? Because the X-Men, there's so much we can talk about X-Men. It's honestly crazy. We should have just made this an X-Men stream.
Hey, to be fair, that's why we have the videos.
Man, this is crazy, guys. Because it's really something. As someone who was in the theaters opening night in 2000 watching X-Men,
Yeah.
Having X-Men kick off the superhero comic boom. Well, it was technically Blade.
Yeah.
But Blade kicked off the superhero boom, but X-Men kind of really kicked the door open.
Yeah.
And then Spider-Man just took a battering ram and threw it at the house and knocked the whole house down.
Yes.
But to have the X-Men come back and kind of be the booster shot, the shot of adrenaline to the heart of the MCU is so rewarding. And to have everyone excited about other X-Men, to look at Twitter and not see people complain about the lack of Wolverine, it's so nice for a change.
It really is.
It's really rewarding as an X-Men comic book fan because these characters are amazing. They're really, at the X-Men, there was a reason why the X-Men were the A-tier Marvel characters for the 70s, 80s, and 90s. More so than Iron Man. Iron Man was a nobody. The Avengers were nobodies. It was all the X-Men. The X-Men and the Teen Titans. And that's why I'm a Nightwing fan, and that's why I'm an X-Men fan, baby. But to have them kind of usher in this new age of the MCU.
Yeah.
It's exciting. And how do you feel? And I've talked a lot. And I apologize. I'm just very excited.
You should be though.
But as someone who's less familiar with the X-Men, what are kind of your thoughts right now?
I mean, I kind of said it earlier, where as someone who never saw the original, this absolutely exceeds any expectation or threshold that I had for it. And I can absolutely see why people adored the characters and the storylines. And like, I'm trying to think of a better word than maturity for this, but I like that because it's accessible, but it doesn't talk down to people either.
Yes.
And I think very much the writing in 97 really hammers that home more than anything. And it's so tough because it's fun, but it's also so anxiety-inducing as a show.
Yeah.
But I can't look away from it.
Can you pull, again, like opportune points, can you pull up Legion X's comment? Legion X, thanks for joining. And great question. Will Rogue join Magneto and fight the X-Men? Great question. I don't know. What I do think is, and that's why I wanted to touch upon this, is I do think maybe we're going to get a split in the X-Men teams.
You know what this unfortunately reminds me of?
What?
Dark Phoenix. Is this going to be the better version of Hank joining Magneto?
Dark Phoenix. We don't talk about Dark Phoenix.
I don't want to.
We forgot Dark Phoenix.
Also, Henry, thank you so much for the $2.
Thank you, dude. Appreciate it.
Prime Sentinel or X-Men Future Past Movie Sentinel?
Ooh.
I can't answer that.
I feel like the X-Men Days of Future Past Sentinels, they were based off of Bastion. They were based off of Nimrod. I'm sorry. Anyway, but I do think they're a little too OP. I do think when every Sentinel is a Nimrod, and they were essentially like too overpowered for me to feel stakes. Because as soon as they showed up, I'm like, oh, they're effed.
Yeah.
They're effed. They have no shot. Where I think the Prime Sentinels, they did a really great job of showing you how strong they are and how formidable they are. But they give you like a way to stop them, like cables, grenades, EMPs, to mess with the electricals.
Yeah.
So there's that sense of tension, like, oh my God, like to see Wolverine and Nightcrawler go ham on all of these Sentinels.
Yeah.
And then have them come back up. You're like, oh, there is stakes there. There is tension there. Whereas X-Men Days of Future Past, they kind of took away a lot of that tension because one, everything was timey-wimey future stuff.
Yeah.
We kind of had that reset button with Bishop. And two, they just were so powerful that there was no, like, you're just going like, okay, so it's literally a stall game.
Yeah.
But you know, so I would probably take the Prime Sentinels.
Fair point. And I say that as someone who doesn't know much about either.
Okay. Fair enough. But yeah, to touch on Legion X's comment, I do think we're going to be seeing a split between the X-Men teams coming soon. If not in this season, at the end of next season. And I do think Cyclops will take a group and he'll go do a team. And I think a team will stay with Xavier. And I think Magneto and Rogue might be on Scott's team. I think Scott might side with Magneto.
Oh, yeah. I mean, given where we're leaving with him, I think between the two, that absolutely makes more sense. I
would not be surprised if by episode 10, something happens. Charles does something. And again, we introduced the character of Vulcan. For those of you out there who know, you know, she doesn't know, but we know. So again, I think Scott's loyalty to Charles is going to be questioned, and Scott is going to become the second coming of Magneto. He's going to become the next mutant revolutionary, which I think is some of the most interesting Scott stories in the comics.
Yeah.
I just hope they handle them better here than they did in the comics because it was a little rough.
Well, from what you've told me, the show's handled a lot of things better than the comics.
Yeah, they did. There's a lot of great stuff. The show is really great at adaptation.
Yeah.
It's great at not being a slave to the source material while adapting to the medium that they're telling the story in.
Yes, absolutely.
But we have some Superman comments. So let's talk Superman.
What?
Because we got our first look at David Corenswet as James Gunn's Superman. I had to do a copyright-free John Williams Superman horn. The Montyverse on Twitter. Who's that?
I don't know. Can you tell me about him?
If you're not following him, go give him a follow.
That's a really good idea.
But I think I have a if you go, I definitely have a close up in there. If you go to the screen share.
Hold on.
Yeah. Stop. Yeah, there we go. And
okay.
Stop screen and where is it? The one underneath that one right there, the red one.
All right, awesome.
Yeah, there we go. Look at that pic. Look at this handsome man. It's crazy how we've gone from Henry Cavill, an actor who looked like he was made in a lab, to play the character of Clark Kent / Superman, to David Corenswet, an actor who looked like he was made in a lab, genetically engineered to play the character of Clark Kent / Superman. We're 2 for 2 with guys who look like Superman.
I do want to say real quick before you move on, Tyler, thank you so freaking much.
Tyler,
for the $10 donation. Here, my dude, love you, homie.
Oh, love you too, dude. Thank you so much, Tyler.
Yes, even Siri got excited.
I really need to take my watch off when I do these.
Hey, maybe Siri will say something valuable.
Guys, I'm going to be honest. I love this suit. Not only do I love this suit, because a lot of people are reading too much into the suit itself. I think that this image was designed to reveal the suit 100%. But I also think the image was meant to give us an idea of the tone and the story of the film.
Yeah.
Because when we usually get our first look at a Superman actor revealing themselves for the first time in costume, it's usually a very godlike, heroic pose. Brandon Routh atop of the stairs with hands on hips. Henry Cavill, butt first into a bank vault. We have all of these amazingly cinematic, godlike poses. But here we have David Corenswet, an everyday superhero, pulling up his boots, getting ready to go to work in the dark, getting ready to go out and save humanity. And that's another thing people didn't realize. We are getting a view of Superman in one of his most intimate settings. In his apartment, lights off, no lights on. This is him just in the most serene, gentle, calmest moment before all the other crazy events that go on through his day. And I think there's something really special about that because we've never got that perspective of Superman before. You know, and I think this image gives off the essence of what this movie is going to be. James Gunn, when he referenced directing Superman and writing Superman, he referenced one comic book, and that was All-Star Superman. And that comic book is a comic book that focuses on the character of Superman, and it humanizes him, and it lets us live with the character and deals with his humanity. And after years and years of Superman being badass God, we're the best, I want to live with Clark Kent. I want to see the humanity in Superman again. And I think that's what this image symbolizes. It symbolizes the tone and story of the film. That being said, a lot of people criticize the fit of the suit. They said it was a little too loose. But here's the thing, guys. Another thing to keep in mind. This is one of the most unflattering poses a person could be in. I dare you. Put a full wall mirror away from me. Mirror. Sorry, I'm watching too much BoonBoomger.
Yes, you are.
Mirror. I did it again. Mirror. Away from you while you're bent over tying your shoes. We all look like garbage. We all look like big pieces of garbage.
Can we also be honest? Even in this pose, he does not look like garbage.
No.
And
for one, I love the fact that the suit looks like cloth.
Yeah.
I love the fact that the suit's a little loose because you want to know what that screams to me as a comic book fan? It screams my mom made this, or me and my mom made this, or my mom took pieces of Kryptonian cloth and she stitched something together for me. And I love that. I want them to bring that back into Superman's lore. I always love that. Like, my mom made this for me. We kind of got that with My Adventures with Superman, right?
Yes. Also, people are acting like as if it's like drooping off of him.
No,
you can definitely see his shape pretty damn well.
I love, like, also the same day a picture came out of Corenswet in the gym, and his arms are bigger than my skull.
Oh, I know.
Like, come on, guys. He's the fact that he's not using as much padding as certain other Superman actors is also pretty impressive too.
I think that's fantastic. Like, good for him. Because I haven't even seen that picture. Let me look this up now. But go ahead.
Okay. Another thing is Red Trunks back. Listen, it's been 18 years. For all the people complaining about the Red Trunks, you've had no Trunks for 18 years.
And, like, they don't look bad in this image.
Guys, this is his first suit.
Yeah.
Like, this is probably the tail end of his use of the suit. This was probably the suit that he introduced himself to the world in. Because remember, this is not an origin story. We're going to be meeting Superman after he already came out as Superman. So I'm curious to see, like, maybe he does get a new suit at the end of the movie, but keep in mind, this is his first suit. Yeah, he's shredded.
Yeah.
He's insanely shredded.
Oh my God. But
this man is huge.
But here's the other thing. I think it's fair for people to have opinions and critique this image because it was released with the intention of creating discourse regarding the movie, the tone and expectations. It's also one freaking picture.
Yeah.
Like, that's the biggest thing is, first of all, nothing about it is like screaming, this is a piece of garbage to me.
It's not a picture from the movie either.
He looks good. The suit looks good. And yes, it's night and it's dark, but there's very clear color involved. And I think he's very intentionally in this very grounded, modest pose with whatever the hell is going on behind him.
We'll talk about that after we talk more about the suit.
But yeah, I mean, as someone who has no connection to these suits and not a whole lot to the character, the only thing like that jumped out is definitely the neck. Like, that's different.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
The high collar is very much based off of the new 52 suit from Superman. This Superman suit, another thing that's impressive about it. I almost did the sketch. What's up, brother? Another thing that's impressive about it takes inspiration from all eras of the character of Superman.
Yeah.
We have the main S logo from Kingdom Come. Mm-hmm. We have the yellow outline from the Fleischer Superman serials. We have the look from the new 52 suit. We have the classic belt and trunks from the 70s Superman look. So this one suit from Superman takes inspiration from every era of the character. There was a lot of intentionality behind it. The suit itself is Superman's legacy, quote unquote. But the movie's not called that anymore. Whoa. But again, this photo is staged. This is not a photo from the movie either.
Yeah.
It's a staged photograph, and I think people aren't picking up on the intentionality behind all of that. And that's what I really wanted to talk about. Mm-hmm. I mean, look, the suit is battle damage. This is a working class Superman. This is maybe we're going to deal with the fact that he is constantly having to run to save people because of his inherited responsibility and that sense of morality that he has. He can't not help people. He doesn't have time to clean his suit. He doesn't have time to start a relationship with one Lois Lane.
Yeah. Again, like, even by those standards, it's still not even that bad.
No. And it's crazy because people are like, it's dark. I thought it would be brighter. Look at the bottom of the suit.
Yeah. Look at his boots.
Again, we're in the dark of his apartment. This is the apartment with no lights on, being lit up only by the Gallic gun going on behind it.
Yeah.
And those pants and boots are bright blue, bright red.
Like, I'd never seen it before. You showed me the first Cavill still, and that in comparison is
the first Cavill still. I hated the suit in the first Cavill still. Mm-hmm. I grew to like the Man of Steel suit, but that first still was terrible. It was dark.
I was gonna say that's dark.
You couldn't see whether he was wearing trunks or not. You couldn't see any of the details on. It was a very weird choice for a first still. Where I think there's a reason why they waited this long. There's a reason why they picked this picture. There's a reason why they chose this pose.
Yeah.
And I can't wait for all of you guys to realize it. And then you can come back and hit me on Twitter and say, yeah, you were right. It was all intentional. But again, let's talk about the thing in the back.
Yeah. Yes, please.
You think that's Goku and Vegeta?
That'd be awesome. Oh my god, this is the best movie ever now.
It kind of does look like the Saiyan Saga beam struggle, except Vegeta would be on top, right? And Goku would be on the bottom. It would be pink on top, blue on the bottom.
Yeah, oh yeah. But yeah, go ahead.
I personally, like, someone who's versed in, no pun intended, but pun intended, who's versed in DC Comics, that to me, by first glance, screams Brainiac. Because Brainiac, his energy, all of his details are pink. Whereas Lex Luthor, who is in this movie, being played by the phenomenal Nicholas Hoult.
Oh, yeah.
Tremendously talented actor. His colors are green and purple. And he doesn't really do Kamehamehas.
I was going to say, yeah, I would not have thought that was Lex.
So that screams Brainiac to me. Is that just a tease? Is that teasing Brainiac?
Right.
Is that trying to throw fans off? Is that just an excuse to give us a light from that direction into the room?
Yeah, I think whatever, like, whoever or whatever it's supposed to convey, I think just the spectacle of it was the intentionality in doing a contrast between the grounded Clark in this scene specifically versus, hey, look at the shit going behind him.
Yeah.
So I think it's a very interesting and unique take on how they could have framed it.
Yeah, and also I think the pose itself is very intimate.
Yeah.
It harkens back to the cover of All-Star Superman, which I'm sure by now all of you watching are familiar with, because DC has been using that to promote this movie up until this point. But also it reminds me very much of and I don't know if we'll be able to find it now. I just have this image of Alex Ross's Superman, of a Clark Kent who slouched down in a chair very similar to that, shirt half open, just pensively looking, and it just shows you like Superman has so much weight on his shoulders. He's such a burdened character that we all take for granted. The people of the DC universe take him for granted. Us as the audience take him for granted because we're like, oh, he's Superman. He's the biggest badass ever. He can do anything. Everyone hates Superman. But no, he's a very troubled character. He's a character with so much weight on his shoulders.
Yeah.
And he still puts all of our needs, all of the embetterment of all of us before himself. And I think that altruism, that moral compass is missing from the landscape of comic book movies. I think someone who is, and we have that a little bit with Steve Rogers and the Captain America characters, but I think more so Superman. Superman, we can tell so much about with that character. There's so much to tell there. And there's that dichotomy, right? Because with the Snyderverse films, we really got the God aspect of the character of Superman. The super God. He is God. He is everything. And Henry, you got to get out of here with that Omni Man or Homelander nonsense.
You're also very incorrect. It would be Marty Stu.
He would be a Marty Stu. Thanks, Nicki. But I think the real gateway into this character and covering this character is the duality between Clark Kent and Superman. Because he is Clark Kent. He was raised as a human. He has human emotions. Emotions. Thank you. Thanks, Henry.
Thank you.
He feels just like we feel. He grieves like we grieve. He loses people. Superman can stop anything, but he can't stop time.
Yeah.
He can't stop mortality.
Yes, that's the whole everything with Pa.
Right? So he is a flawed character. He does have flaws. He has the same flaws that we all have.
Yeah.
It's just that he has the strength to overcome them. And I think that's what people hate about Superman, because they can't live with the fact that he makes the choices we wish we could make.
Yeah.
That's some really profound shit, guys.
That's very profound.
Guys, someone clip that out, because that's a really profound shit.
Considering I can confirm you're saying that off the cuff. So.
I prepared nothing.
Yes.
We just hit play, baby. We're just ripping it.
Yes, but no, I think that's very insightful and eloquent.
That's what you know this already. I've told you this 100 times. That's what was my gateway into comic books. The humanity behind superheroes.
Yeah.
They're larger than life. Like Green Lantern, he's the man without fear, but that's Daredevil. He's Green Lantern. He's fearless. He has willpower more than anyone, but he's not. He's just as afraid as everyone else. It's just that he's willing to face his fears and overcome them. Batman, he is the poster child for for mental health. Yeah. And please get mental health. Please, just look at Batman. He needs it. You have Superman. You have the Flash. You have Wally West. You have Dick Grayson. All of these characters in the pantheon of DC Comics. Not even touching upon all of the damaged, effed up people in Marvel, like Daredevil, like Spider-Man, like the X-Men. What's there not to love about superhero fatigue? Get out of here with that nonsense. We can tell superhero stories from now until the end of time. We just want good stories.
Yes.
And I think this will be one of them.
I definitely hope so. And again,
hold on, let me get off my soapbox. Okay.
Your soapbox is very insightful and well spoken.
Thank you.
That's not a bad thing. And again, the other thing is this is Gunn. Like, has he anytime recently given us a reason to think like, nah, I don't know about this James Gunn guy.
Guys, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Nicki can attest to it. She was sitting right next to me. I ugly cried for about 2 minutes to 5 minutes straight at the end of that movie. When Dog Days Are Over came on, he triggered something in me I didn't even know was there.
Yeah.
And this wave of emotion came over me. Mm. And it just shows he's a director that could speak to the flawed people, the people that feel flawed and that see flaws in themselves. Mm-hmm. And he could speak to our hearts and our souls. And that's impressive because all of his Guardian movies have done that for me.
Yeah. Like, the guy's track record is insanely good. He was hired for this for a reason. And that's not to say, again, we haven't seen the damn movie yet. Maybe it will absolutely suck for all we know. But at the very least, we can give it a chance. I think it's completely reasonable to make assessments based on what we are provided. But I would say we have every reason right now to be pretty damn psyched. Also, Rachel Brosnahan
as Lois Lane. The cast is crazy.
The cast is wild. Millie Alcock.
Millie Alcock is Supergirl. You have Isabella Mercado as Hawkgirl. You have Eddie, who was in X-Men.
Yeah.
Eddie Giganti. I'm pretty sure is how you pronounce his name.
I don't know.
Who is now Mr. Terrific.
Yeah.
You have Nathan, the always underrated Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner. Weird choice, but I'm interested to see what they do there.
And again, not sure about this movie, but Sean Gunn,
my friend, who I somehow once a year I always find myself eating at the same restaurant as Sean Gunn. Fun fact, true story by the way.
Very true.
It's happened multiple years in a row now, but just crazy stuff. This movie, I'm so excited for it.
I know. And again, it's like, we also still have time. There's still so much more that we have to learn.
It's just the first image. We still have over a year to go. Mm-hmm. I'm excited. I've never been this excited for a DC film in a very long time.
Yeah.
And that hope that this movie represents, that the character represents. Let's do it, guys.
Let's freaking do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's go. All right. Let's talk about the return for a little bit.
Ooh.
And then we'll open it up to some questions. But let's see, because we haven't done one of these in a while, so we do want to make sure we get to talk to you guys a little bit.
Let me know which one.
I think it's the first Twitter one. Not go back to the first one. Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay, cool.
All right, guys. So me and Nicki have both been enjoying Mighty Morphin Power Rangers: The Return.
Yeah.
Issues 1 through 3. Issue number 4 is dropping in 2 weeks.
Ooh.
And I have to say, I'm super hyped for it. Boom Studio sent us over the preview pages. If you guys go to my Twitter account, you can catch all those. You can see some of the variant covers as well.
Ooh, yes.
Goni Montez does one. I think that's the main cover, Goni Montez's cover. Either way, really excited for it. I think this is I think I told you to pull up the wrong one, but either way. Just flip back. Hit the arrow.
Okay.
No, on the page.
Okay.
No, the arrow. The other arrow. The one, the back arrow on the page.
Oh, the back.
No, not that one. The one right in the.
I'm so confused. Which
this
arrow?
Let me just do it.
Yeah.
This arrow right here.
Oh, that one. Sorry.
All right, we're gonna go
Too
back.
many arrows.
All right, guys. So if you guys have kind of been following The Return, this is Olivia Hart, daughter of Kimberly. Olivia Hart, right?
I think so, but I'm not positive. Actually.
It's Olivia. What am I doing? It's Olivia. Guys, I'm sorry. It's been a long stream. It's Olivia Hart because it's Oliver and Hart.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm pretty sure it's not Olivia Oliver.
No, sorry, guys. It's been a long stream. Been talking for a while, but Olivia Hart. And she becomes the new green Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. But this series has been really phenomenal so far. I think Amy Jo and Matt Fraction, the other comic book Matt Hodson, have been doing a tremendous job with this series. I went into this not expecting much.
Yeah.
I had pretty mid expectations or tempered expectations. I didn't know what to really expect. But after reading the first issue,
it's so freaking good.
I was completely blown away. I think that this is one of the most special Power Ranger stories we've gotten in a very, very long time. I think Amy Jo comes in and has a unique perspective that we haven't gotten in a Power Ranger story ever.
Also, real quick, Billy, I totally agree with you. That is definitely the morning.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yes.
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong. I would rather not have the chaos behind me though.
Absolutely. And I think that this is one of the most important Power Ranger stories I think ever told, because not only is it a great story, not only is it well written, I think that it's important. It's an important character study for the character of Kimberly Hart.
Yeah.
And the person, Amy Jo Johnson. I think there's a lot of truth in the pages of this book.
There really is. And I mean, it's not necessarily subtle, but what I'm so amazed by is the way that she, like you said, there's a lot of parallels to her and real life, but it also just works as a solid Power Ranger story. Because if I didn't see the parallels, I probably would still like it almost just as much. But I think that the parallels make it all the more special.
Yeah, 100%. There's some really crazy stuff. If you really read with the intentionality of, this is Amy Jo writing Kimberly for the first time in almost 30 years, returning to that character. This is Amy, and it's written from the point of view of Kimberly coming back to the world of Power Rangers, but also Amy Jo coming back to the world of Power Rangers. And you could kind of hear Amy Jo coming out of Kimberly.
Yes.
Which was kind of my hook into the book.
It really is, but it feels like such a natural story, because I would say this is I don't feel like this was written as a vanity project. I feel like this is very much like, because I know the cliche is write what you know, and I feel like that's very much what she's doing it. But it is just amazing how she integrated it in this universe so seamlessly.
There's some inherent honesty in the words of this story that I just really love. And the fact that kind of you feel a tonal shift, you kind of feel her get that out of her system within the first two issues. And then issue 3, it kind of takes over. And we switch to dealing with our past to examining our future. And the comic covers legacy in a broad spectrum over the course of 30 years. And I'm trying to say my thoughts without spoiling the comic too much for people who haven't read it. But I think there's a lot of fun stuff in here. If you haven't read it yet, I honestly think you should check it out. We're going to give our full thoughts on the series once issue 4 comes out. May 23rd, I believe, is the day. It should say it on there. I think it's May 23rd. But we also have, hopefully, a couple of surprises in store for lovers of the return coming to the channel this month. So keep a lookout. We may just have a couple of interesting things going on. So just stay tuned for that. And if you haven't picked up the return, please do, because I don't say this lightly. I do think it's one of the best Power Ranger stories we've ever gotten. And with not much going on in the franchise, with nothing but the stupid watch, with nothing but doom and gloom on the horizon for Power Rangers for the next year or so. This fills a void that's needed. And not only does it fill it, fills it good. It fills it good.
It fills it. That's one way of putting it.
Sorry.
That's one way to put it.
I'm sorry. That is one way to put it. Okay, let's just go to the questions.
But anyway, it's amazing. As someone who does not really read comics pretty much at all, never mind Power Ranger comics, I very strongly endorse it.
Yeah, and that's crazy. Like the fact is, when this thing comes out, we both run into separate rooms and we're reading it like at the same time, because we don't want to spoil the other person, and we both want to make sure that we read it, and then we run back into the same room, and then we just talk about it for like a half hour to an hour, and just how layered and complex and deep it is.
We haven't even talked about how gorgeous it is.
Nico, you're killing it, bro.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Nico Leon.
Yes, and
fantastic
also,
work.
And some of these variant covers, I'm so upset that we don't have them.
We got a bunch of them.
We have a ton, but there's so many more. There's dozens of them at this point.
Kevin Eastman, co-creator of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, just did one that you can pre-order now on Amy Jo's website, which is crazy. They got some of the biggest names in comics to contribute to this. Kevin Eastman, a legend. And this week was the 40th anniversary of the release of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1. It's the 40th anniversary of the Turtles, and we were given a Power Ranger Ninja Turtle collab for the anniversary. Crazy, guys.
That's
crazy. Go check that out. Go tell Amy and Matt how much you love it.
Yes.
And Nico, and Boom. Tell Boom how much you love it, and tell him the Montyverse sent you.
Yeah.
Tell him the Montyverse told us to tell you.
That was a very good detail.
Yes, but like I said, I wish we had more time to go over it, but again, I don't want to go over it too much before issue 4 comes out because I feel like we'll just do a big stream on it after that. Mm-hmm. But really, really great. Go pick it up.
Yes, 100%. All right.
What a stream it's been.
Yes.
What a stream.
A lot of good things going on.
A lot of good vibes. A lot of positive vibes. Everyone's been we're just out here chilling. We're just having fun.
We're chilling.
Fido's chilling.
Fido has such a big freaking head. I'm surprised it hasn't tipped over yet.
I didn't show him off my keychain for all my Yugi bros and gals out there. And everything in between.
Aww.
I had to get both because I couldn't leave. They were both next to each other. I couldn't leave them. I couldn't leave one without the other. I had to get my Yugi and my Joey keychains.
Oh my god.
These were cool. Same shop that we got the Agumon and Fido at.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, the same vendors.
Jeez, we got so much stuff.
Those people, they were so nice. They were so nice, so helpful.
They're so nice. They
weren't pushy. Everything that's what I love. Just have a great conversation. Mm-hmm. Make me want to buy from you. Don't force me to buy from you, because then I won't.
Yeah, but honestly, like, they didn't even have to push. They had so much stuff.
Cool, so nice.
There's a freaking, I think it was a keychain of Lopmon.
Yes.
Like, where'd you see anything of Lopmon, which is so freaking cute? But they had Digimon, they had endless Pokemon plushies, they had Cardcaptor Sakura stuff. I could not get over it.
It was great.
Yes.
It was fantastic. It was so much fun. We got to give them a formal shout out on our, we'll definitely tag them on our Twitter page, so you guys can go hype them up. They're at cons all across the country.
Yeah.
So you never know when you'll run into them.
Nope.
But I'm sure their pages have their schedules on there. But go check them out. Great stuff. We'll shout them out on the Instagram and on the Twitter.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. As we wind down, let's open it up to some questions. We're opening up the floor. The floor is yours.
Yeah. If you want to give a donation, strongly appreciate it.
Yes.
And definitely, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat.
Any donations go to support the channel and help us build. Like I said in our last live stream, we are planning to completely redo our backdrop, convert this into a studio.
Yeah.
So any donations you give will help us complete that goal.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we do have some really exciting stuff coming down the pipeline. So as questions come in, we'll kind of talk about that.
Yes.
We do plan on starting either, depending on if we get to 30,000 subscribers soon or not. We will be planning either a Patreon or a membership program for you guys to do some cool rewards for you guys.
Yeah. I can't remember who it is, but someone recently commented about how with our Mighty Morphin reactions, we have a lot of multi-parters coming up. And also the movie, the 2017 movie, we still need to go back and do Alpha's Magical Christmas. There's no shortage of stuff we want to be able to provide.
Yeah, so a Patreon or a membership program will allow us to do watch-along streams, to do maybe like a stream once a month where we bring a couple of patrons on.
Yeah, maybe some special videos, exclusive videos. So
we haven't really figured it out, but you guys can let us know in the comments or let us know in the live chat what would you guys be interested in us doing as part of that, and we definitely do that. Obviously, we have a Discord server that we set up that will be a part of that we can't wait to have you guys join.
Yeah.
We've had it set up for months now.
Yeah.
We've just been kind of gun shy on pulling the trigger.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, look, we are so appreciative of you guys and how supportive you all have been. So if we're going to do anything that involves actually taking your money, we don't want to half-ass it. We want to do the best we can. We're trying to be as consistent as possible. And that's just a huge goal that we have.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So just to kick off the questions, Tyler, thoughts on Kendrick versus Drake? Just curious. I'm like so not up to date with them in general.
I don't want. Listen. I don't want to spend too much time on this, just because I feel like it's so far off topic from what we've covered. But I think Kendrick won.
That's my impression.
I think Kendrick just straight up murked him. I think I heard someone compare it to Drake's creating like popcorn movies and Kendrick's creating cinema, and I kind of agree with that.
Interesting. All right. Cool.
All right. Next question.
Henry, any thoughts on Invincible?
Oh, I love Invincible. I personally love it.
Yeah, you've been watching the new episodes.
I'm all caught up. We don't do it on the channel because Nicki is just doesn't love hyper violence.
It's not even the violence. I've gotten better, but
yes,
because it looks great. I'm just a little bit squeamish.
Yeah.
Which is also why I've never watched The Boys or anything kind of in that vein, even though I know that they're supposed to be great.
And a lot, and The Boys and Invincible are not. She could watch like a horror movie, that anything that has violence that's intentional, that has intentionality. Where I think The Boys and Invincible, they kind of lose that in the later seasons, and it's kind of just hyper violence for the sense of hyper violence sometimes.
Yeah, which can be done well, but for me, it's like I'm still trying to get a stronger stomach.
Yeah, but I love Invincible. I think it bothers me because I feel like even though the episodes have been fantastic, and I think season 2 is on par in quality as season 1. I think the weird release structure messed with the flow of the culture surrounding the show. I felt like no one was talking about it online nearly as much as they were season 1, and that's because of the wonky release schedule. And that to me is so mind-boggling, because if you just released it weekly instead of just 7 episodes here, wait 3 months, 8 episodes, like 4 episodes here. I find that release strategy so stupid. Just release it weekly. Just design the show to be released weekly. I think that's the better release strategy. Yeah. And it'll get look at X-Men. Yes. I haven't stopped talking about X-Men for months.
I know. And it's so, not to get in the whole topic of streaming releases, but I think the weekly has proved to be more successful in terms of promoting discourse around any show.
Yeah.
But no, awesome. Iron America, what are some risks you want to see Hasbro take with the reboot?
I want more risks.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say,
great question for you, because you kind of open-minded.
I mean, watching it, assuming y'all are watching our Mighty Morphin reactions, it's currently kind of rough. Yeah. So it's not even so much that I need risks as I want them to, if they want to be ballsy with the stories they tell, like have uncomfortable things like subjects or harder hitting plot lines, like either personal or as part of their Ranger identities. I just want it to be good and make sense.
Yeah, I want great writing. That's the biggest risk. I want it to actually be written.
Which to be fair,
which is risky for Power Rangers.
And we know that Power Rangers is capable of it. I think it's just going all the way.
I want it. Also, the biggest risk, I want it to experiment with tone. I don't want it to be dark. I don't want it to be Power/Rangers.
Or we don't want the inverse of like just goofy, like everything's meaningless, monster of the week every week.
I think Cobra Kai season 1 is the tone I want for Power Rangers. A show that takes itself seriously but knows when to punch itself in the face, or to kick it, to be crass, to kick it in the nuts. Yeah, that's the risk I want to take. Tone out. As in terms of storytelling, I want more inclusivity. I want more same-sex couples. I want Power Rangers to represent, because why Power Rangers struck a chord with us growing up is because it represented us at that time. It represented the world at that time.
Yeah, and we, like, in hindsight, it's crazy how early 90s show was kind of progressive in some ways automatically. Yeah. I just think there's room for even more improvement.
And Izzy, guess what? Izzy and Fern were my favorite parts of Dino Fury and Cosmic Fury. They were the best written characters.
Oh my freaking god.
On the show. But I want the Power Rangers of tomorrow to reflect the children of that time. I want them to reflect the teenagers of that era
instead
of the teenagers of our era, because that's 20 years, 30 years gone now.
Right. And even if it's not our era, that doesn't mean it's not good.
Yeah.
Andrew, are you planning on doing a reaction of Forever Friends on Monday? I'm pretty sure that's the next episode.
That's the plan.
So yes.
Yeah. Easy question.
Easy. Johnny, Montyverse, do you think X-Men 97, do you think will inspire Hasbro to do a Power Rangers animated series in the same style and quality as 97?
Nah, too much money.
I was going to say, that would be great.
If they listen, the reboot has to come first. This is the whole reason they bought Power Rangers. If that succeeds beyond our wildest imaginations, then the floodgates will open. Yeah. But that has to succeed first.
Yeah. Okay, Johnny again. Do you hope that 97 will relaunch a revival of Spectacular Spider-Man?
Spectacular Spider-Man. Okay, that's two different shows.
Spectacular Spider-Man 98.
I don't answer that because I want them both back. They were both my favorite Spider-Man shows. Yes. Yes, bring them both back. Bring them both back. But who's next? Johnny again.
Johnny, did you know that Disney Channel is filming Zombies 4 in New Zealand, where Ninja Storm was filmed, or other Power Rangers Disney series?
That's crazy. No, I did not.
We were actually just talking about Zombies 4 in general.
That it exists.
Because what's funny is we have not watched them, but we've watched. Is it Pretty Much It?
We've watched maybe.
There's a couple.
We've watched Pretty Much It's videos on it. We've watched a few other.
Alex, the guy with the animated.
Yes,
Avatar.
the animated Avatar guy. Alex. I don't remember his name.
Either way, we've watched commentary videos. We have not watched the actual series.
Yeah. But it's funny. Milo Manheim.
Oh my gosh.
From Journey to Bethlehem, the most hilarious movie of 2023. If you ever need a good laugh, I recommend you watch it.
Yes.
Antonio Banderas is amazing.
Iron America. Do you guys watch Cobra Kai? If yes, what do you think about the season 6 teaser and release schedule? I have not seen any of it. I've only watched the first Karate Kid movie and nothing else.
I love Cobra Kai. As an Italian, I think Daniel LaRusso represents all Northeast Italian boys. He's one of he's one of cinema's greatest Italian heroes. I love Cobra Kai. What's up, brother? I love Cobra Kai, brother. Tuesday. The release schedule, I just hate the block release schedule. I hate that Netflix is like doubling down on that.
Yeah.
4 episodes here, 3 months later, 4 episodes, 3 months later, 4 episodes. Dumb.
Yeah.
Really dumb. Give us weekly releases.
Yeah.
Make us wait an extra year if you have to.
Yes. I mean, that's the other thing.
It will just make us want it more.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think of an example of that. But there are shows that have done that formula where
Sherlock.
They split the season. And that's fine.
Yeah.
As long as it makes sense, like, narratively, and it's a good show. That's the important thing. Okay, Johnny again. Montyverse, I posted on your Twitter about 3 actors who are giving me Zombies 4 who remind me of Shane, Tori, and Dustin. We'll have to see.
We'll check that out. I'll let you know in the comments.
Yeah. Henry has been binging Fallout. We have not watched.
That's fair. I mean, that's his argument for the binging model. Listen, I think as long as the show is designed to be binged, I don't mind. I mean, there's certain shows that I prefer binging over weekly releases.
Yeah.
But if you want your show, if your show is like a Paramount, like Invincible, like Cobra Kai, a staple show, a major show for your streaming service, I think it should be a weekly release. I think Fallout, like what they did with Reacher season 1, dropped it all at once. Everyone was like, I love Reacher. Season 2, weekly release. Boom. That's how you do it. Yeah. You get them hooked, and then once they're hooked, you switch it on them. You switch it on them, and guess what? I was there.
You were there.
I was there. Reacher.
Mr. Dambo, we want actual character arcs.
That's true.
Yes.
Preach.
Johnny, again, I really hope you guys react to My Morphin season 3 and Zeo, because those 2 seasons are peak and start to really get Power Rangers going with storytelling.
Yes.
We've also been talking about what those plans are going to be.
Yes, you guys have to go and like and comment on the videos, because that really helps us, and it really makes us want to continue to do it. As long as they keep getting views and likes and engagement, we'll continue doing them.
Yeah.
If no one's watching them, we won't do them.
Yeah, that's pretty much how that works.
Yeah, but we're still having fun with it. If you're asking if we still want to do it, the answer is yes, 100%.
Yes.
That reminds me, if you're still here right now, if you're still watching, go and give the video a like, because likes help us tremendously. It pushes the videos in the algorithm. The YouTube algorithm now is so weird and so finicky. So anything you can do to kind of push our videos out there, we would greatly appreciate it.
And here's the thing. As someone who's a fan who hasn't seen them, I want to watch them at some point.
Yeah, so we're going to continue.
Absolutely.
As long as we can.
Henry, Cobra Kai was great. JDF wanted a Cobra Kai type reboot.
And you know what? There's a reason why he was the face that ran the place. He's one of JDF's biggest assets was he always was able to read the room and assess kind of the zeitgeist and how we could reintroduce Power Rangers into that zeitgeist based on what the fans say. He was very receptive of the fan base.
Yeah.
And that's and I very much was appreciative of that.
Absolutely. Johnny, who do you want to see as the female Red for the reboot? So I feel like we might have talked about this at one point.
Yeah.
We're so out of touch with like actresses who would be young enough to do this.
You know what? I got one.
Who?
Xochitl Gomez. She would be a badass Red Ranger.
She would be great. The only person I could think to put forth was Kiernan Shipka.
Oh, she would be good too.
I think she's fantastic.
Yeah, she could do it. Let them both be red.
Henry, amazing Spider-Man over spectacular.
Listen, that's fair. They're both so good.
Yeah.
They're both so damn good.
Also, Navaflow, what up?
What up, Nava?
Okay, Johnny, do you think Jonathan Atwhistle will
Is that Nova? It's Nova Flow.
Oh, did I say Nava?
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure it's Nava. You can correct us.
Oh, it is Nava. Sorry. You would assume that after all of the engagement that we had with Nava, that I would say the name right. But guess what? You'd be wrong.
That's
I
true.
apologize, guys. I'm looking so far away from the screen right now, and I have glasses, so please forgive. please.
That's what you have me for.
Yes, that's why I use Nicki's eyes.
Exactly. Okay. Do we think Jonathan Entwistle will add actors like Sadie Stanley from the Cry Kid movie to be part of the reboot?
So now I need my boy Jin Saku in here.
I also didn't know Sadie was a part of it.
The reboot? No actors are attached to the reboot.
No, for the Cry Kid movie.
No, not that I'm aware of.
Okay, I only know her from the live action Kim Possible.
Yeah.
Maybe.
See, Nava, I know we did this before. I know, that's why I brought it up, because I thought she was wrong this time, and I wanted the satisfaction of being right. But guess what? Here I am.
Here.
Once again, torn into pieces.
Here you are. Tyler, Cobra Kai honestly is a bin for me. Hot take.
That's fair. Listen, the problem is I binge Cobra Kai, and then I like binge eating. I'm just there with like sweating, like just sprawled out on my bed going, what do I do now?
I also think people have the right to prefer to watch things however they want. Tyler, also X-Men 97, given the OG series, makes sense to do weekly to begin with. Yes.
Yeah. And also it was written to be weekly. They knew from the beginning they would be a weekly release.
Yeah.
So the show was written as a weekly release, and it succeeded because of that. I think that is a large part of its success.
Yeah.
Because each episode leads into the next, but also leaves you something. It dangles a carrot.
Yeah, it's like there's so many crazy cliffhangers, so many crazy developments that come at the tail end of episodes.
So good.
That, yes, do we want to know what happens next? Of course. But there's some... The discourse is what really has elevated, I think, the show.
If any of you in the chat are film students who want me to come in and help your professor teach a class on X-Men 97, I'd be happy to do so.
Oh my god. Iron America, what do you guys want to see in Pokemon Legends ZA? Which Pokemon do you think deserve megas? Is that the new game coming out?
Yes.
Okay.
I loved Pokemon Legends Arceus, so I'm really excited to see what new game features are introduced into it.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of Pokemon that need mega evolutions.
Yeah.
I would love, just out of pure selfishness, I would love an Infernape mega evolution.
That would work though.
Yeah.
There's first of all, just its design. I think there's room for its design to take that on, but Infernape's awesome.
Yeah, I love Infernape. One of my favorite Pokemon. Heracross. Heracross has a mega evolution. Does it?
I don't know. I'm so behind on.
I'm
games.
blanking. I'm imagining a version of Mega Heracross in my head, but did I just design it myself or does it actually exist? I forgot. Someone let me know in the comments.
Yeah. Novel, what did I miss from the stream? That's a loaded question.
Yeah, I mean, dude, you missed so much. Listen to my voice. Listen to how hoarse my voice is. You missed a lot.
Yeah.
I gave a thesis on Superman and why Superman's a great character.
Yeah.
We talked about the X-Men. We talked about Marvel.
We talked about the return.
Yes, we talked about a lot, but you could always double back around and catch up on it.
Andrew, we did know about Ralph Macchio playing Daniel LaRusso.
Yeah, Daniel LaRusso, he's back.
He's definitely back. No, he's just asking. He's asking if we know about him playing Daniel in the original trilogy.
Oh yeah, of course.
Because he's a legend.
He's a legend. He's an Italian legend, New Jersey Italian. Let me tell you something.
Yeah. Nava Flow. Greninja is my favorite Pokemon.
Nava. We're simpatico right now because one of my favorite too. Only water starter I ever started with.
I was gonna say that, which says something. You're so married to fire.
I am married to fire, except Trico.
I was gonna say Sceptile. Is your one grass? Is Greninja really your only water?
Yeah.
Wow, you're tough.
No, that's not true. I had every intention to choose Scorbunny in Sword and Shield,
but
I felt so bad because I bought the game with a bunch of my cousins and friends. We all bought it together.
Aww.
Everyone picked Scorbunny or who's the leaf Pokemon from that generation?
I didn't play it. I don't know.
Rillaboom. Rillaboom's first form. And I felt bad for Sobble.
Aww.
And Sobble, I'm like, Sobble is the anxiety Pokemon. That's me. So I picked Sobble. And
who does Sobble become?
Inteleon.
Oh yeah,
the James Bond. the spy Pokemon.
Inteleon is such a meme.
Inteleon is such a meme. Sobble's such a meme. But that was more out of pity. But I ended up enjoying it.
Inteleon's not bad.
No.
I honestly really only know it because of Unite. Mr. Dambo, how are you liking Super Sentai compared to Power Rangers? Would you watch past Sentai like Gokaiger? Okay, here's the problem. So far we have I have 2 points of reference, but
you do.
With Geki Ranger because I watched several episodes of it.
Hit us with it.
I really have enjoyed both that and BoonBoomger so far, and I certainly, compared to Mighty Morphin, think they're more cohesive.
Yeah.
But
you're being so nice.
I mean, so nice. But at the same time, to be fair, we don't know what the other Sentai are like.
That's true.
Like there could be some stinkers in there.
But I think they're saying like you could also interpret that like how are you liking Super Sentai now as opposed to Power Rangers now?
Amazing. Freaking awesome.
Like Power Rangers is like, damn, what is this episode going to bring us? Whereas BoonBoomger, it's like, what's gonna happen? What are these tire heads getting into today?
Because
you don't understand the joy we wake up to every weekend. Getting to watch BoonBoomger.
I know everyone keeps saying 97 is the best show of the year. On a personal level, I personally have to go with BoonBoomger.
And that's great to hear. For me, it's still 97.
But I derive so much joy from that show. Another one that has just blown past every hurdle and expectation I had for it. So yes, I freaking love the Sentai I have seen so far. And I know Gokaiger is beloved, and I'm more than happy to try other ones. The problem is there's so freaking much we have to watch. Not that we have to, but that we want to.
Guys, this is another reason why we're starting the Patreon/memberships. We're so tapped right now. We're doing like 4 series at once right now. We're going to be starting My Adventures with Superman.
We still have to finish Knuckles.
We're finishing Knuckles.
We're about to finish 97.
We're still doing movie reviews.
Guys,
I still want to do short form content.
I want to start making Monty watch movies I love.
Yeah, we want to do like Pixar first time watches,
some Disney first time watches. I mean, Inside Out 2 is about to come out, and you haven't seen the first one.
Yeah,
like we have so many ideas and so much that we want to do. So that if we do get the Patreon going, that would be honestly like a humongous help to us.
Yeah, absolutely. It would definitely help us, and it would give you guys so much more nonsense to watch.
But I think we have good nonsense.
It's great now. It's the best form of nonsense. I watch myself and I make myself laugh.
Yes. Oh no, nothing makes me more satisfied when a dumb joke that I put in a video gets a laugh out of you.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Mr. Dampo. Watch up.
Oh.
All the way at the bottom. It just caught my eye.
Oh, but how could you not? Because it's the best movie of all time.
It's one of the only Pixar movies I've watched. I love it. I'll watch it again if you guys want to watch me cry.
I was gonna say, like, even stuff we've already seen, if we love it enough and think it'd be good, we could react to that too.
And that's another thing that'll be on there. You guys will be able to choose once a month, probably something for us to watch.
Yeah, because if we do that, we definitely do exclusive videos and stuff that would be special and watch-alongs. Okay. Iron America. If you guys watch the Pokemon anime, what do you think about the new one and Ash not being in it anymore? What did you think of Ash's ending? Okay. I did watch the anime until they changed all the voice actors in the English dub, and that pissed me off. Even though in hindsight, it's like, I get it. It's not the actor's fault.
I watched it on and off. I jumped back on in X and Y because I thought it was fantastic. Mm-hmm. Then I dropped immediately as that was over because Sun and Moon looked terrible.
Oh, that animation.
Watched the Masters tournament.
Yeah, I watched it with you a little bit.
In Master Journey. I thought that was great. Unfortunately, I think they kind of decided halfway through writing that series that they were going to get rid of Ash.
Yeah.
And it was very evident. It didn't really. Then they gave him that 13 episode aimed to be a Pokemon Master, which should have been like a 50 episode series of him constantly rotating his Pokemon.
Yeah.
That would have been so much more rewarding. Mm-hmm. It felt more like a see you later than a goodbye.
Yeah.
So I hope he will be back. But listen, I think it was about time. I think it was time they tried something different.
I was gonna say, I'm not watching it diligently, but I've seen a lot of random clips of the new series with Liko, and I think it's pretty damn cute.
Yeah.
Like I love seeing the new Paldean Pokemon. I think she's a good character. I can't remember the guy's name.
He has a
Fuecoco.
Yeah, Fuecoco, and his trainer's name I think is very like obvious.
Yeah, but either way, the little bits I've seen of it I think are pretty cool.
It's Roy, isn't it?
Yes, you're right.
Liko and Roy.
And I have no problem that Ash is not in it. I'm perfectly fine with that.
Yeah, Ash was kind of. He needs to just grow him up, just age him up.
Yes.
He didn't even have to get, but whatever.
Whatever. Okay. Jabbar, thank you so much for joining us. You two should react to Pride of the X-Men. Also, have y'all ever thought about reacting to the original Transformers G1 cartoons? So
funny story.
Yeah.
I've watched Pride of the X-Men a few times. I rewatched it last night. Mm-hmm. What a weird. I would love to have Nicki, but Nicki did not watch it. So
I heard you watching it. I could hear you, and I was like, "Huh, that's kind of weird."
So maybe we'll watch. I have a short idea.
Yeah.
On specifically Wolverine from that and Wolverine from Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends.
Yeah.
That there's a weird Australian connection there. I'd love to do like a short on that.
Yeah.
So look out for that.
For Transformers reactions, I mean, yeah, we're open to so much. We just are tapped.
Yeah, I mean, Transformers, we'd love to do it. Like I said, if the channel blows up like it's been doing, and we're able to devote more time into the channel.
Yeah.
100%. Because listen, I know a fair bit of Transformers lore. I grew up watching Beast Wars. Beast Wars was, as the kids say, my jam.
Nice.
I'm not old.
Not my only two water types are Furky and Oshawott.
One of those is good.
Also, can we give some love to Squirtle? When does Squirtle become a punching bag?
As a Charmander stan, as a Charizard boy, I cannot show any respect to Squirtle.
Not even the Squirtle squad?
Maybe the Squirtle squad. Listen, any Pokemon that wears sunglasses is cool. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But Squirtle as a whole is terrible.
Fine.
I'm loyal.
Also, while I prefer Chikorita, I've definitely picked Totodile a few times.
That's fair.
And then after that, Mudkip never really cared for. Piplup's cute, but I've never gone my way for. And I'm blanking on all the other ones. Freaking what's the duck? Quaxley. Quaxley's cute. The final evolution is freaking weird.
The Paldean starters took such a swerve. All three of them.
They're like Digimon.
Yeah, they became Digimon. They all took such a weird swerve.
Yeah, like I'm used to Meowscarada now, but the others are like, what the?
They're all a little over designed, but that's fine. I think they're all fine.
I like them fine enough. I don't dislike them. I just think
not my favorite gen. Yeah, no, not my favorite gen.
They're no Fido and Duxbun.
Yeah, I mean, there's some cool Pokemon in the gen, but the starters are not my favorite. I think they're a bit. I love the base forms.
Yes. Oh, I think Sprigatito and Fuecoco and Waxley are all great. I knew I was gonna pick Sprigatito, but I was like, oh, now I like the others.
I loved how dumb looking Fuecoco looked. Like he was such a little silly boy.
I love him for that though.
I loved it. I was like, Fuecoco, you're my dude.
Mr. Damo, hell yeah, BoonBoomger is great.
Boom boom.
I agree. Novel it's hard for me to watch sub shows because of my low vision, but I've been enjoying BoonBoomger from your videos.
That's good to hear.
This is probably like, I feel we're probably gonna get crap for this. We're both, when it comes to anime, we both will watch the dubs.
Depending.
Usually.
For me. If I hear the dub is good, I will watch the dub.
I was gonna say if the dub sucks, then that's different.
Yeah.
But I'm more than happy to watch good dubs.
Yeah, we are open to we're definitely dub watchers.
Yeah.
But we will watch sub.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So we're both.
We're both. Henry referring to Up, what a tearjerker.
Henry, you're right, dude. I mean, that movie is just a devastating analysis of what it means to live.
And you had no idea.
No idea. You're so cruel.
Johnny, do you think if Transformers 1 is successful, that will lead to spin-offs and sequels? Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say so. I mean, the Bay movies.
Isn't it planned as a trilogy?
I didn't know that. I'm not surprised. But
yeah.
I mean, this applies to any movie. If it makes money, they will do more to make more money.
True.
I feel like that especially applies to Transformers as a franchise. Iron America, bring him back for a movie for the 30th anniversary, or maybe a 5 to 6 episode miniseries.
Ash, yeah.
Yes. Oh, 100%.
Agreed. They left the door open. I definitely think he can come back.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Novel Flow, it's dope seeing how different Captain Pikachu is compared to Ash's Pikachu. The little I've seen of him, he's pretty cool.
He's hilarious. Like I love that. Kind of like how Detective Pikachu was kind of his own thing. Captain Pikachu's a little aggressive boy.
Yeah, but I like him, and he's voiced by the captain, his trainer, is voiced by Crispin Freeman.
I didn't know that.
I literally just found this out because
he's voiced by Superboy himself.
Well, no, it's wild because again, a clip just showed up on Facebook, and
Crispin Freeman wasn't Superboy. Nolan North was Superboy. Sorry.
He was
Wally?
Speedy.
Speedy, you're right. You Speedy in Arsenal.
Yeah.
And Red Arrow.
But no, like a clip showed up. I heard him talk, and I was like, I've definitely heard that voice. So I had to look it up, and I was like, holy hell, Crispin Freeman's in this.
That's great.
I might need to watch the show now. Andrew, have you enjoyed watching the gym battles that Ash competed in Pokemon, and which gym battles are your favorites? Okay. I have to remember all of them. I'm trying to think if any of them stood out to me.
There's so many stand out to me, guys.
I feel like the classic to me was always Sabrina.
There was when Ash beat, forgot who the gym leader was, when Charizard beat Articuno in Johto, I believe it was.
I don't know offhand.
I'm pretty sure that was a gym battle. That's probably top tier for me.
Yeah. I just think the stuff with Sabrina is one of the most bizarre but fascinating things in that whole anime.
Did they even battle? They didn't even battle.
First of all, he didn't really battle in most of
in Kanto. They all just gave him the badge.
Yeah, but at least like that was way more interesting than Brock or Misty or Lieutenant Surge or Erica. Just pissed me off because I was so petty.
Yeah.
That was at least a good story. It was weird.
My favorite overall battle would probably be Ash versus Alan in Pokemon XYZ.
I didn't watch it.
In the finals of the Kalos Pokemon League, which Ash should have won. But seeing Charizard and Greninja duke it out, and the battle was really great all the way through. I think Ash's team was very solid during that battle.
Yeah,
really great stuff.
Johnny, do you think we will get more Sonic spin-off shows like for Shadow, Amy Rose, and Tails if Sonic 3 is successful? This is tough.
If Sonic 3 is successful? Don't you mean when Sonic 3 becomes the highest grossing movie of all time, racing past Avatar and Titanic?
Yikes.
And of course Avengers Endgame. But yes, I do.
Yeah.
We are Sonic Squad for life here.
Yeah.
We pray at the altar of the Donut Lord in this house. Okay.
I'm not commenting. Johnny, do you hope Mighty Morphin The Return issue 4 could lead to a new ongoing series or sequel to The Return? If Amy, Joe, and Matt are on board and it's as good, yes.
Yeah. Amy, Joe, and Matt. I know you guys are watching right now, waiting for this exact moment when someone asks this exact question. We want more Return.
Yes.
We want you to explore this universe. I honestly think that's where that's where the ending of this story, I think that's its natural conclusion, to kind of have Olivia usher in a new age of Power Rangers in this universe that hasn't had Power Rangers.
Right.
So it would be a really bright ending for not only this story, but for us as fans.
Yeah.
To kind of get them to go like, there will always be Power Rangers. Yeah. Continuing in Return Again. Keep on returning.
I love this question because I ask you every time.
Hit me.
From Iron America, Monty, what are some things you realized about Mighty Morphin upon your rewatch that you didn't realize before?
Watching this show before my brain was fully developed really impacted how good I thought the show was.
Oh, no.
No, it's just really good to rewatch Mighty Morphin, because rewatching it before, I kind of would always skip the episodes I knew were subpar, and I would always rewatch the important ones, the best ones. Mm-hmm. So watching it all the way through really helps to shatter those nostalgia goggles.
Yeah.
And makes me appreciate how great the show becomes post Mighty Morphin.
Yeah. That's a good answer.
Thank you.
Yes. Novel Flow, I had to look it up too. I recognize the video. I'm not sure unless you mean one of...
You're at maybe Ash versus Articuno?
Okay, maybe. Iron America, Ash versus Clement is a peak gym battle. I didn't know Clement was a gym leader.
Yes. The Thunder Gym.
Interesting.
This is what
happens when you don't keep up.
And Kalos.
Novel Flow. For Sabrina, she turned Misty and Brock into dolls, and Haunter made her laugh, and that's how Ash won.
Yep. We literally just talked about this the other week.
We did?
How in Kanto, I said this to someone. I think it was you. That Ash in Kanto, he rarely won a Pokemon battle for his badges. That he always did help put out a fire.
Yeah.
Or, saved a cat from a tree, something. And they were just like, oh, you showed great prowess. Here's a badge.
But
here you go.
But here's the thing. That is so typical for a shonen protagonist.
And then we want to know why Charizard didn't listen to him or respect him.
Charizard still didn't need to be a dick.
He had no respect for this guy. He's like, bro, you won 2 battles.
He saved him when he was a Charmander.
You technically you lost to Brock because you quit.
Well, no, he didn't lose to Brock.
He only beat Brock because he set off the sprinkler system.
Yeah, but Brock, the authority figure in the position, still gave him the badge.
Ash is a chump.
Whatever.
I could beat Ash.
Most people have beaten him.
I would beat Ash so bad.
Anyway, Iron America. Elaine be living in the streets because of how robbed he got in Journeys.
Alon, yeah.
Oh, okay.
They made him out after how amazing of a showing he had in X, Y, and Z. To make him a jobber in Journeys was so rough.
Yeah.
But what are you going to do?
I don't know who that is.
He's a really powerful trainer with a really powerful Charizard. Ooh. So he's peak.
Gotcha. Tyler, all hail Lord Donut. I do like donuts.
All hail the Donut Lord and Olive Garden.
Maybe not
not Olive Garden, no.
No. Johnny, when are we going to get the trailer for Sonic 3? We need it so bad. We need Shadow.
I need it now.
Yeah, we need it now.
Paramount. I know you're watching too. I know you're one of the 150. And by the way, if you're watching, hit the like button.
Yeah.
Paramount, if you're watching right now, you need to release the Sonic trailer immediately. Yeah. Stop holding it hostage.
I mean, yeah, pretty much.
Stop holding. We know you have it.
At the very least, they don't have to release it. They just have to give it to you.
Let it go. We know you're holding it hostage from us.
Careful when you say that phrase.
What? The Sonic 3 trailer?
No, let it go.
Oh, God. Stop it. Stop it.
Yeah.
Give us the Sonic. I want it now. Maybe not now because it's not going to get any traction. And we need it to have all the traction. Release it at exactly 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow.
If that actually happens, like
if that happens, I need all of you to blow up my Twitter.
Yes, please.
With like Monty was right. Hashtag Monty was right.
Yes. Novel flow. Did mean voice. Not the video. Yes, Crispin Freeman is a very prolific and talented anime voice actor.
He's so great.
Yes. He was also in Howl's Moving Castle, which is very good. That's another thing. You need to watch more Ghibli.
That's true. I will watch Ghibli movies. Again, we have so much we want to do. You guys don't even know. You guys don't even know the things.
Yeah. Iron America. Billy Cranston may have one, if not the best character arcs in Power Rangers.
Billy does.
I'm not even done with it, and I can tell you that.
Yeah.
UBN2. Thank you so much for joining us. Can you react to the 2017 Power Rangers movie, please?
Okay.
That is a plan we have.
It's in the plans. It will happen this year.
Yes.
So you won't wait too much longer.
Yeah, trust me. We want to get to all the Mighty Morphin adjacent content.
Yes. So we will be reacting to it. Probably when there's a lull. We're gonna wait for X-Men to finish. We're gonna wait for My Adventures with Superman to finish.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Are there any shows after that besides Agatha?
No, not that I can think of off the top of my head, but you never know.
You never know. Because like I feel like we've had so much TV this year.
Yeah.
That we've been busy with. I mean, One Piece was last year, but that was huge. Yeah. I cannot believe Percy Jackson was this year.
Avatar, Percy Jackson, so many shows.
And they feel like forever ago.
So many amazing shows that we watched.
I know. So we'll have to be on the lookout. And of course, Deadpool.
Yeah. Oh man, and look, Mr. Dom, my brain is fried.
Mr. Dambo, would you pick up an anime? Trust me, we'd love to do so.
We're going to be.
We've tossed around. We've tossed around Dragon Ball Z Kai, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters, Pokemon, Sailor Moon.
Yes. We want to do all those. We also really want to do Go Loser Ranger. There's so much we want to do. Guys, we're only 2 people.
We really are only 2
We're trying. We're trying our best.
Yeah, like I can tell you, like even just what we're doing now, like we love doing it.
People like to trash on reaction content, but we put so much work into this stuff, guys.
Yeah, because we want to make it fun. Like if you've seen any of our reactions, like we'll have our stupid, corny jokes, but like that's just our vibe, and we want to keep that consistent.
Yeah, we put a lot of ourselves into these videos. So
yes.
Yeah, I take that criticism and say shove it.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of work. That the whole point of me saying that was it's just a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. If we did not have to have our paid jobs, trust me, you would get exponentially more.
You'd be getting all the shows.
You'd be all this.
I would just be in Cerebro.
It'd be like it'd be like the Bo Burnham song. Here comes the content. Daddy.
Stop it! The music claims Bo will hear it. Bo, I know you're watching, Bo Burnham.
Sorry. Real quick, Tyler. Hearing Shadow say Maria with Keanu Reeves' voice melts my heart. It would. Anything.
It's gonna destroy us.
I'm in so much shock that you got cast, but so perfect. Iron America. Oh wait, no. DHR Fire Studios. Thanks for joining. That in the second pilot episode, and there's a lot of what was cut from the show that should have been the series. Can't wait for y'all to check it out. Yes, we are aware of the second pilot. Yeah,
we've had it teed up as soon as it dropped.
Yeah.
Probably later this week. Probably let us get through X-Men.
Yeah.
I have something I'm collaborating on with someone on Thursday that I don't know if it's a surprise or I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it. But there's a video I'm going to be recording Thursday. And yeah, then probably Friday or something, or this weekend. It'll be this week.
Yes. We think. We will try.
Barring any emergencies.
Yes. Iron America. Green Ranger, White Ranger, or Gold Ranger theme? Okay. I hate that I have listened to this because I didn't want to be spoiled. I have heard the Gold Ranger theme, and that's a pretty good song.
It's go Green Ranger go.
I was gonna say Green Ranger. I think is too iconic.
It's so iconic.
It's the only one. It's the one that I could recite immediately from memory. Novel flow. We got Acolyte coming.
That's true. I'm a big Star Wars guy. Nicki's not. So we'll have to see what we're gonna do with Acolyte. I think the show looks great, and I can't wait to watch it. But we'll have to see if we're gonna cover it.
Yeah. UBN2, no problem. Iron America, don't listen to the haters.
Never do. unless I talk, unless I engage,
respond.
Unless I respond, which is definitely a fun pastime for me sometimes.
Yeah. Mr. Dambo, great work. Take your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Iron America, do either of you watch any sports?
Yes.
For a period of like 6 years, I watched MLB pretty well. Unfortunately, I was a Marlins fan. Because of my parents, that was not a great decision. Otherwise, no, not at all.
I'm a big football guy. I love football. I do watch combat sports, not as much now, but like boxing and UFC.
Yeah.
I was watching a lot of that for a while. Play golf, can't watch golf. I'm sorry. Much rather play it than watch it.
Yeah. I keep forgetting the Olympics are this year.
Yes.
Because that's something like I at least want to like not be in the dark about, just so I'm not a complete loser. Anyway. Let's see here. Tyler, I'm aware that you do it. It's why I'm still here. Thank you for being friends is a great bonus.
Thank you, Tyler.
That's so sweet.
Tyler, you've always been one of the sweetest, man. Thanks for always being there.
Yes.
I lost all words for a second. I blanked.
I think you're just tired.
Yeah, we've been going for almost 2 hours. Wow.
I know, but honestly, like, thank you guys so much.
Thank you
for watching, for putting up with our nonsense. Iron America, that's rough.
You poor soul. I'm so sorry. If you need a shoulder to cry on.
So, as someone who has always been a New Yorker, is the Jets hate real?
The Jets hate?
Well, or the mocking, I guess.
The Jets mismanagement is very real. The Jets are one of the worst managed teams in football.
Yeah.
By a mile. They don't even know what the hell they're doing. But things look a little brighter this year, hopefully.
Yes.
I'm a Patriots fan.
I know.
I've been a Patriots fan for 7 years.
And then the couple years they were Tampa Brady.
I'm a Tom Brady fan, really. As much as listen, guys. We'll get into Tom Brady. Me and Tom Brady in another stream because that'll be a long discussion.
It will be.
Just someone bring it up next time.
Johnny, did you like Cosmic Fury, especially with Billy returning and Amelia as Red Ranger? Yes. And if you watch our reaction to the theme song, we were both shocked at Billy getting like lead villain.
Yeah, I was so shocked.
I was happily shocked, but I was shocked.
But yeah, I think more than most, I think we really did like it.
We enjoyed it, and I know there's a lot of criticism over whether Amelia deserved the mantle, because I think we can both easily say Izzy was our favorite character from Dino Fury, but I did enjoy her character and her progression in the show. Would I have changed some things? 1,000%. Yeah. But for what we got, I did enjoy it as it was. Naircon Ken J. Thank you so much for joining us. Hey, do you both
I think it's NY Rican J.
Okay. Hey, do you both watch anime?
Yes. A big yes. Hey, NY, dude, come on. Man, you're late to the stream. You missed all my anime goodies. I got my Yugi and my Joey little keychains that I got from Fan Expo Philly.
Yeah.
Look at that. I got my cute little Agumon dressed up as Tai. Tai's my spirit animal. A lot of my anime stuff is out of frame, which is why we want to redesign this when we do the studio to display more of it. I have 2 entire bookshelves behind me that are temporary placeholders for. These are all Dragon Ball Z figures.
Yeah.
That I've collected for the past decade or more, probably more at this time.
Yeah.
We have a ton of anime stuff on that shelf next to Billy's helmet.
Yeah.
I call that the wall of me.
I was gonna say it's the shonen protagonist wall.
It's the shonen protag shelf. Ton of characters that I just vibe with and relate to.
And coincidentally, they're mostly shonen protagonists.
Yeah.
But yes.
As Nicki says, I have shonen protag energy. Yes. I don't deny it. I embrace it.
Iron America, it's rough out here. Yes.
I'm sorry. It really is. Nava. It's even worse for you.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Iron America, I'm a big basketball fan too. Knicks are looking nasty.
Knicks are filthy this year. Hopefully the Knicks bring home a championship for New York.
I was gonna say I would never say I was a fan, but there was when the Heat had the big three. My family was a little more invested in them at that point.
Front runner much?
Oh no, trust me, they're bandwagoners. They're 1,000% bandwagoners. But yes, so that was the one period I kind of cared about basketball. Tyler, okay, I'll bring up the Netflix roast next time.
Honestly, that roast was hilarious. It was fun seeing Brady get to not be Tom Brady for one night, not to be like the political figure that he is, and just go off, just start cussing up a storm. Hilarious. Iron America, thank you so much. We want to. I'm working on adjusting our OBS to kind of do more of a like a fun type of environment where you can kind of have your super chats and alerts come up, and I'm working on a soundboard full of fun noises.
Yeah. Also, like, I apologize, like, if we're awkwardly like working all the directions because we're looking at the chat, we're trying to look at the camera. So.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
So yeah, if we ever like look awkward, it's nothing that the chat.
Maybe I just want to look awkward. Okay.
Do you want to?
Yes, all the time. Like if I could just do the whole thing like this.
Nah, I don't think you actually mean that.
I look too cool. No, I look cool like that. I don't think I can look awkward.
That's fair. But yes, no, thank you so much, Iron America. Iron America again. Who would win, Master Morph for Tommy or Zenith Ranger Zato? You can answer that.
That's a great question.
Yeah, I mean,
in terms of power scale.
Yeah.
See, here's the thing: the Zenith Ranger, in and of itself, is strong, but it's like Serpentera, right? It's got a limit to its strength. It could probably win in a short fight, but I think Tommy's got any prolonged battle.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
Now, if we're talking Morphin Master Zato, he's essentially a god of the Morphin grid.
Yeah. No one's being that.
But Tommy has the biggest plot armor of all time by being Tommy. So it's hard. I think it's a tie.
Yeah.
I think it's a tie.
Yeah. Both great characters, though.
Both great. I love Zato. Zato is one of my favorite Reds.
Yes, and I did like him as Zenith. I just wish it wasn't Champagne.
The Champagne Ranger.
This is apparently a hot take. I'm not as high on him in purple as apparently everyone else is. I've seen that image circulating. I'm not into it.
Should have been white.
It should have just been white.
Should have just been white. They're annoying.
Or silver would have been even better.
Hasbro's annoying. It should have just been white. I can't believe they didn't. It's so stupid. Terrible optics. Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. You guys are being awesome and supportive. Thank you very much. Iron America, just put on sunglasses. We won't be able to tell where you're looking.
That's true.
I don't want to be that douche who wears sunglasses inside.
How about now? Now I can't see where I'm looking.
It's okay. You can't read the comments anyway.
True. What are you talking about? I love the comments are complimentary. When they're nice, I want to read them.
Yeah, but you also can't decipher every letter.
That's true.
Weston Langley, love your videos. Thank you.
Thank you, Weston.
Also, that's awesome that we're reaching Twitter.
Yes. Love you, dude.
Mr. Dambo, Cyclops, is that you? Serious question.
Call me Scott.
Would you dress as him?
I would cosplay Cyclops.
I'll be Gene.
I would cosplay. I would be like real casual Cyclops.
Guys, like that's something I want us to do is cosplay more. But that's such an investment.
Yeah, I would love to just wear like my orange hoodie and a blonde wig and just be casual Naruto. Yeah. Like orange hoodie, black joggers.
Yeah. And
just do like the Jinchuriki like whiskers on the face. Call it a day. Yeah.
I mean, haven't you done that kind of before?
Yeah, I've done that. I've done that before. It also requires me shaving, and then I look like a 12-year-old. So I don't know. That's fair. My baby face.
All right. MVP comment from Iron America. Lord Zed was a demon on steroids, but he had some pretty good one-liners.
That was pretty great.
That's great. And you know, it's not even false.
It's not false.
Yeah.
Oh boy, guys. Oh boy,
I was gonna say, did you want to bring that up?
Not until I find out what the results are. Once we get confirmation on the finality of it and what actually went down.
Yeah.
Which I think we all can assume what happened. Probably some information being shared in terms of a lighter sentencing. But once that all goes down, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, because that's a conversation.
That's a conversation for another stream, and that would be another long conversation.
But you know what? I think it's an important one.
Very, very important. It's important to bring up, and it's important to talk about because it's important to all the people who are kind of brushing it aside, and kind of ignoring it.
It's very uncomfortable and just wrong.
It's wrong. I mean, we definitely know where we stand on the subject, and it's not with him.
Absolutely. Johnny Master Zed was the Super Shredder of Power Rangers. I'm assuming, is that true?
Yeah, Morphin Master Zed. Because we remember we watched TMNT too. Remember how Super Shredder just showed up and then got taken out immediately?
That was, y'all, I don't want to hate on the Turtles because I thought the first movie was really fun. Oh my god, the second one was so rough.
It's a guilty pleasure.
I don't even find it enjoyable in that regard. I'm sorry. Y'all can give me all the crap.
You're gonna say this the week of their 40th anniversary? The disrespect.
I like me mayhem.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, Iron America.
We still have to finish the TMNT movies.
Yeah, guys, that's another thing we want to do because we still have Turtles in Time, the TMNT film,
which is one of my favorites,
and the Bayverse. No comment.
Never mind. Never mind. We'll stop.
I was gonna say real quick. Iron America, he can't morph in jail.
That's true.
That is true.
It's they don't have the morphing grid.
Mr. Dambo, you take that back, JK. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm not taking it back.
Ugh, guys, now you know what I deal with every day.
That's true. Bonnie for life. Thank you so much. What's your favorite Power Rangers show? I've not watched that many. I thought Time Force was really good, and I really like Dino Fury and Cosmic Fury. That's my answer.
RPM.
Yeah.
RPM. I love Ziggy. Ziggy's probably my favorite Ranger. I like characters that I can relate to, and I relate to Ziggy in a lot of ways. So Ziggy.
Nice. I can't wait to get to it.
It's so good.
It's gonna be a really long time.
Yeah.
Iron America. It's a shame because after JDF passed, he could have lifted the fan base completely and tried to be the influence JDF was with the fandom. Instead, he chose to promote Hitler.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, he did try to lift the fan base. And when I say he tried to lift the fan base, I mean the grifting term. He tried to lift the money out of their wallets.
Yeah.
And put it in his own pocket.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's...
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Johnny, do you think Nickelodeon is in full limbo ever since Quiet on Set? So we have watched it. Here's the thing. I don't think Nickelodeon as a corporation is currently in limbo. I think it's for the whole thing to come down. I don't think it's happening, but I do think things will be examined more closely, maybe.
Yeah. The biggest hope, I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead.
I was like, the biggest thing we could hope from this is that it institutes changes in the future.
Yeah.
You can't change the past, what happened, as horrendous as it is. The biggest thing is that it shines a light on that, and we can kind of, people can be more attentive of what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, I mean, children were not even just children, adults too, were all put in terrible situations that affected their livelihood and their safety.
Yep.
And that needs to change. Novel Flow. RPM, the darkest season, but my favorite is Time Force.
Another great one.
Yeah.
Another banger season.
I literally, guys, for those who aren't aware, I have not watched any of the Zordon era of Power Rangers.
Yes.
But because Monty kept raving about Time Force, and Jen as a Pink Ranger, I had his permission and blessing to watch it independently.
Yeah. I think if anything, it's a testament to how much you fell in love with the show.
Yeah.
You wanted to explore the universe more. I didn't want to gatekeep you for the purpose of content.
Yeah.
So I said, as long as you stay out of the Zordon era,
which I will,
I gave her free reign to watch any season she wanted.
Yeah, and Time Force showed me that Power Rangers can be good.
Yeah, really good.
Yes. Iron America. Dan Schneider interviewed after Quiet on Set was the most scripted.
That was one of the most embarrassing.
It was so bad. And even if it was scripted, it was still bad.
It was one of the worst things I ever watched. It was cringe from beginning to end. The fact that he recorded that probably in 7 takes.
Yeah.
With an actor that he probably paid to be there.
Yeah.
Who was an adult at the time of filming.
Yeah.
The whole thing was just such a sloppy mess.
It's really disgusting. I I hope so badly that this new lawsuit that he's trying to go through with, he falls flat on his face.
Ugh, it's we can get into the legality behind it, but he does have legs to stand on, unfortunately.
Well, I hope not, because it's all going to come down to, I think, just the specifics of what they said. Because maybe, but also maybe not. We'll have to see the full. We don't know exactly what's going to happen.
We have to see what happens.
I do hope he falls on his face.
Me too.
Now Flow. SPD is my second favorite, then RPM.
Another banger. Banger after banger. We're just listing the best of the best right now.
I know. And that's like what's so funny is, for someone who still hasn't watched it, I'm like so in tune now with the fan base.
They're listing all of my favorite seasons. They're just so good.
But that means they have good taste.
They have great taste. You guys are phenomenal. More phenomenal.
Iron America. If you guys end up reacting to Turbo, please be patient with it, because although the first half sucks, once the Phantom Ranger comes around, it gets really good, and the finale is top 3 finale.
Well, here's why we will stick with Turbo. You're missing one key factor. Johnny Young Bosch. Johnny Young Bosch can make me watch anything.
Yeah, and he's in it.
He's in it.
But does that mean we don't get to the rest of it?
No, because then we'll have TJ. TJ, one of the best Red Rangers ever.
Yes, and by the way, guys, like, that was an unavoidable spoiler. Like, there's
certain things, like, once you enter the realm of Power Rangers, people are just going to spoil for you inadvertently just by, like, Twitter feeds and, like, osmosis.
But I can tell you, I don't know how things happen. I have not watched the individual episodes, so don't worry. But yes, if we go along with the whole Zordon era, we will definitely get to Turbo. Johnny, if Disney did Samurai back when they owned it, do you think it would be better than Saban did, and would have more battleizer scenes with the Shogun mode battleizers?
I think it would be very different, because I don't think, if you notice, the Disney seasons are some of the best, because they took risks and they did things differently.
Yeah.
And then when Saban took over, they had this mandate where they, like, aggressively copied the Sentai, like, word for word. And it's, especially with all things Samurai, it made no sense. So yeah, I think it would have been better and different.
Oh my god! I mean, I don't know, for y'all who follow Monty on Twitter, we kind of just randomly watched the first episodes of a few seasons.
Yeah.
Specifically Samurai, Megaforce, and Ninja Steel. And my gosh, like, with all the horrible things I've heard about Megaforce, Samurai was easily the worst. At least
one of the worst nights ever.
It was one of the worst pilots I've ever seen, and it was so evident that they just blatantly copied word for word what happened in Sentai.
It was like a competition of who could act the stiffest.
Oh, Mike was decent.
Yeah.
And I know from what you've told me,
Antonio single-handedly comes in and goats that season like crazy. Like, he just gives that season so many points.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
But otherwise, like, those 2 episodes were painful.
Yeah, that's why you guys need to follow me on Twitter, so you can be there for all of my fun jokes and quips.
Yes, because then we get to make fun of things, and that's unfortunately part of our brand.
Yay! Fun.
Johnny, Dino Thunder is one of the best Disney era seasons.
True. True again. There's no lies being told here tonight.
No.
These are all truths.
Hold on, more truths. Iron America, TJ is peak, and then you get Andros, who's also peak.
They're pretty great. Both pretty darn great.
Is Andros a top 5, Red?
I can't commit to that at this moment. I can't commit to that. I have to evaluate.
Here's like, guys, this is a video I want to do. It's just based on conversations. I just want to, like, guess Monty's opinions about Power Rangers.
Guessing my top Rangers?
Yes.
Now that's a video.
Guys, like, I'm very confident I could name his top 5 green, like, off the top of my head.
Guys, we're going to do that. We're going to do it. We're going to have a whiteboard, and we're going to write down the top 5 of each color.
Guys, I promise.
And we'll see how many points Nicki can get.
I think that'd be fun. Okay. Johnny, Adam Park should have been the Red Ranger fully, honestly. I wouldn't be opposed to that.
He could have if they didn't drop Johnny and Nikia.
Yeah.
When JDF and Kat wanted to leave the show.
Yeah, that was garbage. The only downside is, from what I've heard, at least TJ is a great Red.
TJ is a phenomenal Red.
So that's the one positive. Navaflow. I grew up in the Disney era. All those Power Ranger shows are good except maybe Overdrive. I've heard that.
Yeah. I mean, Overdrive, it has its moments.
Yeah. Johnny, I love TJ and Turbo. He was a great Red Ranger. No lies.
Truth.
Nava Flow. And I still enjoyed Overdrive. I've heard people who've said that it's aged better. So we'll see.
Let's see.
Mr. Dambo, Megaforce was such a disappointment. Yes.
You're not wrong. All right, guys. Let's start winding it down. We've been live for over 2 hours.
But again, thank you all so much for joining us.
We appreciate all of you guys for coming in. Let's get our last questions in.
Yes. Iron America, Super Samurai wasn't so bad. You tell me.
Super Samurai was better than Samurai because of Antonio. Antonio carried Samurai.
And Lauren?
What was this with Lauren? Lauren's great too.
Yes.
Yeah. Lauren. So yes, it does boost that significantly.
Mr. Dambo, Andros is one of my favorite rides.
Yeah.
Mr. Dambo, tier list Rangers. That would be fun. I just can't contribute that much, but I will happily listen to Monty's opinions.
Yeah, maybe we could tier list like Mighty Morphin monsters. If someone can get me PNG files of every monster from Mighty Morphin season 1 and season 2, we could do the tier list. But you guys got to help us with that.
But you know what I wanted to do more?
What?
BoonBoomger monster tier list.
BoonBoomger monster tier list.
I don't think any of them are lower than A.
Shit, that would be hard.
I think the worst one is still probably better than most of them.
That would be rough.
But that'd be fun. Oh, I'd love that though. And the thing is, I would be willing to rewatch BoonBoomger to have my fresh opinions ready to go.
Yes.
Okay. Iron America. If you could change one story element in MMPR, what would it be? The way they treated the 3 departing Rangers.
Yeah. What do you mean? The 2 departing Rangers? There's no shift in the Red Rangers.
I'm sorry.
There was no first Red Ranger.
I'm sorry. The ones that did leave. Yes, that's my answer. Ghost Walker. The Zeo Megazord was cool, but the cockpit was small.
True. These cockpits are not OSHA. Are not OSHA standard.
No. Johnny, In Space changed Power Rangers forever and gave us great surprises and a great finale.
True.
Willie Deers. No. I'm sorry.
We're sorry.
We're sorry. Iron America. Thank you guys for streaming.
Thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you guys. This is why we do it. We love getting a chance to catch up with you guys.
Oh my gosh, Willie. Stay live until X-Men 9. Dude, okay.
Willie, I love you, my guy. But
here's the problem. If they dropped it at a reasonable time.
Yeah.
Yes.
If it dropped at midnight, yes.
But unfortunately, we don't get that luxury.
We don't get it. It drops at 3 a.m. Eastern time.
Mr. Dambo, BoonBoomger, hell yeah. Hell yeah is right.
Boom, boom.
Andrew, Trip, Carlos, Joel, and Tommy are the best Green Rangers in past seasons. Maybe some of them will appear on your list.
Maybe some will, maybe some won't.
Yeah, I'm
a hot take machine. And I have no remorse.
That's true. Novel, the only Neo Saban era Power Ranger show I liked was Dino Charge. That is also what I have heard.
Yoshi's great. Yeah. Yoshi's good. The whole cast. I really like Dino Charge. The cast of Dino Charge.
What about Chase?
Yeah, I said the whole cast of Dino Charge. Chase, that includes Chase. That includes Shelby. That includes Brennan's character. Tyler. I can't.
Guys.
In 2.5 hours.
That's fair. And then Iron America. Thank God X-Men finale dropped after I'm done with my semester.
Nice.
You're very fortunate.
Nice. Well, good luck on your finals.
Yes, absolutely.
Hope you crush it. Hope you ace it. Yes. And you get invited to the Xavier Institute to study abroad in the United States.
We didn't even talk about the Airbnb.
Oh, we didn't even talk about it, guys. We need to do another stream. There's so much. This is the problem when we only do like one stream a month. We miss so much.
I know.
We're gonna try and do them more weekly or bi-weekly. But again.
Also, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say also, like, let us know what you like about the streams. If there's anything specific you want us to talk about.
Let us know what you guys want.
If you want fun segments, because we did some tier list before.
This is why the Discord will be great.
Yes.
Because the Discord will give you an opportunity to tell us what you want from the channel.
Yeah.
And we can deliver on that.
Iron America bi-weekly. That would be doable.
Yeah, that's very doable. I think we could do that for you guys.
Yes. But trust us, we have a lot of goals. We just need the bandwidth to achieve them.
Absolutely. But on that note, thank you everyone for tuning in. If you haven't liked the video yet, please give it a like and help boost us in the algorithm. We would greatly appreciate that. Any little thing you can do to help the channel grow is greatly appreciated. And thank you all for stopping by. We loved hanging out with you. We loved talking everything we talked about. Superman, Power Rangers, X-Men, Feige, all of it.
I was gonna say Sentai.
Sentai, BoonBoomger.
Our nonsense.
Our nonsense. All of it. Again, for the millionth time, thank you guys. Thank you so much. Without you, none of this would be possible. We appreciate you. So until next time, stay versed.